Thank you, Susan. Appreciate you. Are we ready for another fun-filled day? I am. I told you guys, I have a versatile look. Like yesterday, super duper cutesy. Today, kinda a bit more aggressive. Thank you, Kate. Hey there, Amy. Okay, let's... Thank you for the hand hearts. Appreciate it. Your wardrobe's the same. Very versatile. That's good. Versatility is fun. All right. Reality checks.
Oh, how fucking dumb you have to be to think men can get pregnant. Like, you have to be the most... Like, you have to be illiterate. Like, you are so dumb. Do you have 0 brain cells? Are you?
How old are you?
Do you have a disability?
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born?
2006.
Okay, so I'm going to do something that I don't do too much. Can we agree to a calm discussion without interruption, without rambling, and without insults?
Yes.
We can agree to that. Fantastic. Yeah. That means that everything that you just did will be against the rules going forwards.
Okay.
Thank you for the finger hearts. Fantastic. Why can men not get pregnant?
Because it's not in their genes. Like, it's for a woman.
Did you say 2006?
No.
What year did you say?
I said 2006.
Yeah, okay, that's not 19. Goodbye.
Oh.
All right, that was quite a start. Thank you for the finger hearts. Appreciate you. Apparently, we unlocked the level 1 gift theme. I don't know what that means. I don't understand these whatever they're calling these gift. Like I get TikTok gifts, but there's this other thing they're doing now. What's it called? Ah, God damn it! I can't even see. Oh well. I have lipstick on my face. Did I get lip filler? Or your lips are giving it? No, it's just the gloss I'm using. It kind of plumps them up a little bit. Adora looking beautiful. Thank you, Phoenix. What does one have to do to become a panelist like Jennifer? Russell James, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Voice actor, open to collabs. I am looking for new co-hosts. If you want to, tell you what, come on up. Let's give it a shot. If you want to co-host with me, come on up.
It's a cake.
Hello, Jaden. How you doing?
Yo, what's good?
How old are you, please?
17.
17? I appreciate you being honest. You gotta be 18 to go live.
Can I suck your dick?
Jesus Christ. It kind of looks like I got like a huge smear right here. The lighting is being weird today. What is going on with my lighting? Interesting. Now you say men can get pregnant. How? Because I was born male, but I want the full experience. So when I say that men can get pregnant, I'm talking about transgender men, meaning assigned female at birth, but they are men. Males cannot get pregnant, unfortunately. Not yet. That's expected to happen soon. SD, thank you for the roses. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'd love to panel sometime. I'm Ghoulie on TikTok. I'm at work right now, so I can't, but sometime. All right, badass. Hello, Chanel. Why don't you come up? Let's talk. Yeah, you got enough people. Come on, let's talk. Hello, is it Chanel? Is that how I say that?
Yeah.
How old are you, please?
23.
Fantastic. All right. So you were saying that I am falling off in chat. Are you looking to talk about the topic or like what? What do you want to talk about?
No, I'm just saying you fell off. You used to get a lot more viewers.
It turns out I just started the live.
Still, you used to get 2K.
Great. Okay. So can men get pregnant?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, if you say so. Whatever you say flies.
No, I observe reality.
Oh,
And by the way, I had 2K yesterday, but yeah.
a different. Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Chanel, do you have any valid points? Because do you think I do this for views? Look, I'm not gonna lie. I like getting high views. I do. It makes me feel good. But do you think that's why I do what I do?
No, I think you just like to piss people off.
You think I just like to piss people off?
Yeah.
No. What I'm trying to do is fight for my community. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's awesome. Is that it?
That's it.
You invited me here, so
Yeah, I did. You seemed to be chirping in chat, so figured I would give you a chance to defend your stance.
Oh, no, I have nothing about the topic.
Thank you for the hand hearts. All right. Adios.
I think it's a great topic, but no, I think you fell off.
Fell off. What is the purpose of saying that? I'm curious. Thank you.
I don't know, because I can.
Again, you're under the impression that I'm doing this for views, and I'm not.
Listen, I have nothing against you. It's not you, or I love the topic, but yeah, I just think you kind of fell off.
All right, you have a good one.
All right, piss off, ugly.
I sense jealousy. Wicked jealousy. All right. Guys, we got 600 people in here, and we haven't even begun the live yet. White Bear, thank you so much for all the roses. I see you. Thank you so much for all the roses. Absolutely amazing. So, it means the world to me. So here's what I want to see from you guys right now. Tap that screen. I have got nobody in requests just yet, so please, guys, tap that screen. Look, I want to be clear. I don't expect yesterday's lives to be the baseline. I'm not expecting to get 2,000 viewers today. I will be happy with 1,000. The more people we reach, the better. But yeah, yesterday was a wildly successful live. I was so happy with how things went yesterday. That's not the baseline. Have my numbers gone down? Is Chanel right? Yes, my numbers have gone down. That's okay, because the goal here isn't high views, it's to reach people. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. It's to make a difference. That is the goal here. How can men get pregnant? Some men are female, and females typically have the reproductive parts necessary for pregnancy. Yeah, I don't feel like my views are low either. I think I'm very happy with 600. Oh, SD, thank you so much. Thank you for the galaxy. My God, thank you. Hello, Kittisins?
Kitty Sins, sorry.
Kittisins. Okay, fantastic. How old are you, please?
21.
All right, and can men get pregnant?
Yes, they can. I just wanted kind of a moment to share something, and I'm hoping that's okay with you. It's not going to be like a ramble, but yeah, it does kind of relate to the topic. But
All right, go for it.
Okay. So I stumbled upon a very negative, transphobic and disgusting live last night, and they were kind of just talking about how this stuff shouldn't be taught in schools and stuff like that. First of all, you can't teach someone to be gay, you can't teach someone to be trans, and if you're going to have that sort of logic, why not then apply that to conversion therapy? You can't force someone to be straight, so why is it not the same in that regard? And I'm just saying, because I'm gay, when I was in school, if I would have not learnt it, but it would make the other kids a lot more accepting, and I think that would genuinely be a better society to live in. I don't know why these parents think we're coming for your kids to make them gay, so what? Do you know what I mean? It's sick.
You're saying that you're saying that you can't teach kids to be gay, right? And I have an echo now all of a sudden. Did you get a phone call? Go back to your phone's home screen, then come back in.
Sorry.
We should be better now.
Okay, sorry. What were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, I would say that I agree. You cannot teach kids to be gay. You cannot teach kids to be straight. We just are, and we deserve to know about ourselves. We deserve to know about the people around us.
Exactly, because when you grow up different from everyone else, even in appearance standards, like if you're slightly chubbier than the other kids, you're already bullied. Can you imagine if you came out as gay? Can you imagine? Like, it's horrible to have grown up as a different kid and to have these like ideations, unalive ideations as a child. It's really messed up. So yeah, it should be taught, and yeah, it's not a bad thing if your child grows up to be an accepting adult, because it's more messed up if they grow up to be just like their parents. Yeah, it was just a very disgusting, concerning live, and the fact that these are getting a lot of attention is just very worrying. And yeah, I don't know, just wanted to go that because it's really sickening.
All right, I agree with you completely. It's sickening to imply that that we can influence a kid's gender or sexuality. Sending them to these conversion camps is only harmful. No one will benefit. It's just going to cause harm.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say something like that. But yeah, thank you for having me on.
No problem.
This does not look easy. I do not know how you can do it, but you're doing a great job.
I have an amazing team behind me.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me up.
You have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? If you are a follower of mine, you know what to do. If you're a follower of mine, Grayskull in chat. TikTok's getting more and more filthy. You know, I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that. You don't think that's how what works? Men getting pregnant? Some men are female, and transgender men can get pregnant. You're having a baby, her name is Grace? Badass. Men can't biologically get pregnant? No, they can biologically get pregnant. For real. Honest to God. Anyone who wants to have a conversation about it, put in a request. Yeah, some men are female, correct. Some men are female. Your looks look very plump today. They are. I used a plumper. I see a lot of people in chat saying that no, men can't get pregnant. Come on, let's have a talk. It doesn't have to turn into a fight. We can have a conversation, a calm, rational conversation. Come on up. Ask me why I think this, why I feel that transgender men can get pregnant. Hey there, Chef Rex. I see you redeemed your daily hydrate. Thank you. Oh, we got some Grayskulls over in on Twitch too. Adora, I bet your whole fit is from Hot Topic. Guys, this is not from Hot Topic. 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 Almost nothing I'm wearing today is from Hot Topic. Only this is. Hello, Kayla. How you doing?
Hello.
How old are you, please?
18.
What year were you born?
2005.
2005. Fantastic. And can men get pregnant?
No,
Why not?
because you don't have like the parts to grow a baby. It's impossible.
Some men do. Some men have uteruses.
No, they don't. They don't.
No, for real, they do. Transgender men. Transgender men are female. We got a Seahorse Dad sending some gifts right now. I saw that. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts.
Has a man ever gotten pregnant? Like a real man?
Yeah, no, for real. Real men have gotten pregnant all the time. Transgender men are men. Transgender men are assigned female at birth, and transgender men frequently have all the parts necessary for giving birth.
Yeah, but I'm talking about cisgender men.
I'm not talking about cisgender men. Cisgender men can't get pregnant. I'm talking about trans men.
But they're not real men.
Why not? Thank you for the paper crane.
Because when they were born, they have like a penis.
Cisgender, I'm not talking about cisgender men. I'm talking about trans men. Jaden, thank you so much for the tiny. Rawr. Transgender men are assigned female at birth typically, and are usually capable of pregnancy.
But they're not men.
Okay, that's the question though. Why are they not men?
Because they're born with female parts.
Okay, so what makes why are you conflating your reproductive functions with gender? They're different things.
Because if you get married, and you have a child, then you need a female and a male to, like, make the child. And, like, that's how you, like, if your baby is born, right, and he has male parts, he is a man.
Okay, so I see where you're getting confused. Sex and gender are different things. When we're talking about biological sex, we are talking about reproductive functions. When we're talking about gender, we're talking about something that is psychosocial. Terms like man and woman and non-binary, those are gender-based terms. They talk about a social aspect of humanity and a psychological aspect of humanity. And when we talk about biological sex, male, female, intersex, we're talking about reproductive functions, different parts of the human experience.
Right, but if you're born a female and you want to be a man, say that, right? You can get pregnant because you're still a female. Like, you're not gonna be a proper man.
If you see a pregnant man, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's a woman. Like,
yeah.
But that would be wrong. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, Kayla. When assuming that someone is that a man who is pregnant is actually a woman is incorrect, because again, sex and gender are different things. I would like you to engage in that point.
yeah, but you can't just pick and choose. Like, you can't be like, if you're born white, you can't like make yourself black.
Exactly.
The criteria for being a different race is different than the criteria for gender. And I want to be clear that I'm not saying that you can pick your gender. I'm not saying that you can change your gender. You can't. I was always a woman. Transgender men were always men. I'm not saying that you can just be a woman one day and then be a man the next. I'm not saying that.
But what's the difference between if you're assigned a female at birth and you want to be a girl, or if you're
a boy, you mean?
Or if you want to be a fella, and like if you're born white and you want to be black, like there's no difference. You just want to
They describe different things. It's my if I'm understanding correctly, race is a social construct, a legal construct, etc. And the criteria for being a specific race is different than the criteria for being a specific gender.
How?
I'm not going to go into a deep dive on race, okay? I can talk about...
How is it different?
I just told you. There's different criteria for being different, for being various races.
Well,
race is different than gender. Do you agree with me that race is different than gender?
Yeah, but changing your race and changing your gender, that's like basically the same thing.
Okay, Kayla. They're the same in that neither is possible. You cannot change your race and you cannot change your gender. You are misrepresenting the arguments that I'm making because you're not listening. I am not saying that you can change your gender. I've made that clear, and you're continuing to say that I am saying that.
But then you're talking about transgender men and you're saying that they are men.
Correct. Transgender men are men because gender is psychosocial and biological sex relates to your reproductive functions.
Listen, only a female can get pregnant.
No shit. Again, you are not listening to me because I've never made any claim that males can get pregnant.
Look at the title of your life. Men can.
Does it say males can get pregnant, or does it say that men can get pregnant?
Men can get pregnant.
Men and males.
Men. Men is a gendered term, not a sex term. Okay, Kayla, it's okay to not understand what I'm saying. I'm 100% being for real about that. If I say something that you don't understand, that's fine. Thank you for the roses. Ask for clarification. I am telling you that male and man are different things. Biologically, male refers to your reproductive functions. Man is psychosocial, meaning it is partially psychological, it is partially social. It is not related to your reproductive functions. Does that make sense?
Just saying, in the title of your live, you should put in transgender men can get pregnant because they were born a female. So they do have the right to get pregnant.
Fantastic. Can we agree that transgender men are men?
No.
No,
Why not?
because they were born with female parts.
Okay, so you're either you're just plugging your ears, or you're just being obtuse, or I don't know. But it's been made pretty clear at this point that my stance is that sex and gender are different things.
People who are transgender are mentally ill, in my opinion.
Okay, so you're not here for a conversation. Goodbye. For someone to send me a cash app, thank you so much. For Let's Go Adora back on debates, woot woot. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Guys, my cash app is Adora 1111. That's Adora followed by 4 ones. Tips are always appreciated, never expected. I do not want anyone stretching their budget for me. If you have to pick between a coffee or sending me a gift, always choose the coffee. But tips are always appreciated. 5% of the gifts I receive and 5% of the subscriptions I receive are donated to Point of Pride. I am behind on last week's donation. I still have to make last week's donation. I'm gonna ask a little favor of my mod team here. Actually, you know what? Forget it. 1 second. All right. I had to make last week's donation today because I totally forgot.
Hi.
Hello, Bardia.
Yes.
How old are you, please?
I'm 17, but I'm turning 18 in 3
I appreciate
days.
you being honest. You have to be 18 to go live. Weird that someone who intends to just drop slurs would be honest about their age. Someone just redeemed posture check on my Twitch.
Yo.
Oops, I got 2 people. Let's do a 1v2. Hello, Chris Six. Christo?
Transgender fucking weirdo.
I don't know who's doing that, so I'm gonna drop both of you. All right, Chris, you with me? Are you the one that was dropping slurs? You are muted, Christo. Christo, I will have to move on if you don't unmute. All right, have a good one. A lot of people saying that men can't get pregnant in chat. Put in a request. I see someone just said that they were going to stalk Christo forever. Not cool. We don't make those kind of jokes. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Whatever you're saying, I cannot hear you. You're just making no sense at all.
Okay, wait, before I say anything, I have one question.
I need to know your age first. That's what I thought. So to the people that are coming up here and dropping slurs, I'm pretty sure their intention is to get my live banned. TikTok doesn't care about the N slur because TikTok is not a moral company by any stretch of the imagination. If you want to get my live banned, come up here and say white. Say the word white over and over and over. TikTok hates the word white. So stop using the N slur and start saying white. That will be more successful.
Hello.
Hello, Freya. How you doing?
Hiya. I am 21.
21. Fantastic. Can men get pregnant?
In my personal opinion, no.
Okay, why not?
So I wanted to know first, do you agree with this opinion? That you're saying that men can get pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
So you agree that men can get pregnant?
Yes.
Can I ask you, I know it's personal, what your gender is?
I'm a woman.
You're a woman?
Yes.
Are you a woman biologically by birth?
I mean, in that, the only aspect of gender that is biological is the part that's within your brain. So, sure, I'm biologically a woman in that aspect.
No, that's a current term. That's not true at all.
What's a current term?
The gender isn't by the brain. Gender isn't by the brain, is it?
What do you think it is?
Well, gender's made so we can reproduce. That's the whole reason for gender. Like, it is so that we as women can meet men and have children. That's it. That is what gender's for. So
I think you're getting gender and sex confused.
Yeah, but but you're thinking more of like being a female and a male and all, and what that entails of what the things that you like. No, generally, what is a penis and a vagina?
Yeah, you're definitely getting sex and gender conflated.
Okay, let's hear Mel. Let's hear Mel, because I don't think men can get pregnant. I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever read.
I mean, do you want to engage in what I just said at all? I mean, I'm always happy to hear what Mel has to say, but I did just say something and you just ignored it.
Okay, go on, tell me. So what's the difference between sex and gender?
Sure. When we're talking about biological sex, we're talking about reproductive functions. When we talk about gender, that is psychosocial, meaning it's partially psychological and it's partially social. It is not related to your reproductive functions.
And that's a written fact.
That is a fact.
Where have you gotten that fact from?
When we can just look at the definitions. They literally describe different aspects of the human experience. One is talking about reproductive functions. The other is talking about how we interact with society and the statements that we make about ourselves. Thank you so much to the person who just sent a Cash App. I appreciate you. You wrote, thank you for standing strong on your platform. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, right. Well, I never knew that was a fact, that apparently gender's your psychological opinion on gender. That blows my mind. I've never heard that. But okay, going with that, you're saying that you can get pregnant. You can get pregnant.
No, I'm not making that claim.
Okay, so any man can get pregnant.
Nope, not making that claim either.
Well, you are making that claim, as it's written.
I'm not.
It's written above your head. Men can get pregnant.
She's not a man, so why would that be her claim?
I thought he was a man at birth.
No, I was never at any point a man.
So you were born a female?
No. Nobody is man at birth.
But what is going on here?
Again, you're not separating sex and gender.
Okay, so what, I'm just asking, okay, so what is your reproductive system, or is that too personal?
I don't have a reproductive system. Thank you for the tiny tinies. Rawr. Thank you for the finger hearts. Appreciate it.
Okay. Mel, can I hear your opinion?
Men can get pregnant.
Freya, I don't think that you have the ability to engage. You're not hearing what we're saying.
She's saying men can get pregnant.
Right. And I asked you why, and you started talking about sex, not gender. I'm talking about
anybody else on my wavelength on this chat.
Sure, loads of people are. We got 1,100 people watching, and I promise you, a huge percentage of them are not on my side.
Who's on your side saying men can get pregnant, and I'm sitting here like looking out the window, confused.
Chat, if you think that men cannot get pregnant, say so in chat. Say men can't get pregnant.
Freya.
You're gonna find a lot of people in chat that agree with you.
Ask how can men get pregnant? Can I have it explained to me? Because obviously I'm thick in this situation. So can someone explain?
Yeah.
We're trying to. You won't listen. Sorry, Mel.
You're fine. We're not talking about males. We're not saying males can get pregnant. You're saying men can get pregnant. They're different things.
Men and males are different things.
Yes.
Men and males.
Yes.
Am I just like, no, they're not.
Yeah, they are. Is a baby a man?
No, but but men and males and nothing.
Can a baby be a man?
Can a yeah, I get that. Baby can't be a man.
Freya,
Right, but
slow down. Mel's going somewhere here. Slow down. Let Mel finish.
Can a baby be a male?
Can a baby be a male? Yes.
So men and male are not the same thing.
Yes, a
Exactly.
male can neither get pregnant.
Oh my God. So A, you didn't understand what Mel just said. And B, we are again not making the claim that males can get pregnant.
You're making the claim that men can get pregnant.
Correct.
Okay, let's go through what Mel just said. Babies cannot be men, but they can be male. In order for that statement to be true, there has to be a difference between being a male and being a man.
Okay, I'm following that part. So now
Great.
can you explain to me that men can get pregnant?
So you're just pivoting right off of it.
No, I'm not. Whoa. I'm not pivoting. I just want it. I want to understand you guys first, because either I'm on a different planet, or I've got it right and you've got it wrong, or you've got it right and I've got it wrong.
Okay, so so because man and male are not the same thing. Men
Yeah, I
is
get that. A man
right,
is
so
like.
so hold on. So a man is a gender identity. A male is a sex. You can have the gender identity of a man, and your sex can be female.
So I'm a female.
Okay?
But you're not a man, right?
Everyone's ripping me apart in this
Stop
chat.
reading the chat.
Freya, the conversation's between you and me and Mel.
I'm just getting ripped. Okay, so I'm a female.
So am I. So am I, Freya. So is Mel.
Okay, I'm a female, and I have ovaries. I can have a baby.
Great.
Okay. So
Thank you for the cash app. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
So that's like me. I can get pregnant, but that's like me claiming to you guys, oh, but by the way, I'm a man.
No, because you're not a man, right? You're a woman.
Yes, but if
Right.
I'm identifying,
but some men are female. You're just not one of them. Neither am I. I am a female woman.
no, they're only female because they claim to be, and we have to, transgender. Yeah. But we don't-
No, they're literally men who are assigned female at birth. They're born female. They have a female reproductive system, but
they want to
have
become
the
girls.
No, but
want
they're
to be-
men.
Okay, right. So let's pretend a little boy is born. Okay.
You mean a male baby?
Yeah, a little male baby's born, and he's around. Oh my God! Someone's saying I'm brainwashed.
Okay, stop reading.
Freya, okay, you know what? Once I'm not dropping you. I'm turning off comments. There we go. All right, let's have a conversation.
Okay. I just need it under. I'm not in any term trying to be offensive. I just need to understand.
So a male baby, you were saying,
is born. He's 6 years old. He's born, and then at like 15, he's like, do you know what? I just feel like I'm in the wrong body. I want to be a woman. I am all for that. And if someone were to come up to me and be like, look, I don't want to be called James anymore. I want to be called Sarah. I'll follow you.
Freya.
I'll support it. I love that.
Awesome. That's not even what being trans is. But because we're talking about men, we would be talking about a female baby, right? So a female baby was born,
Yeah.
right? And then that baby grew up with the gender identity of a boy and then a man.
So that gender identity, that's in their brain, isn't it?
Yeah, your identity's in your brain.
So if it's in his brain, he can't get pregnant.
No, because his sex is female. Do you even know that transgender men exist? You keep focusing on transgender women.
Literally.
No, I'm with it. I get you.
Can you tell me what a transgender man is?
A transgender man is a female that's born that says they want to be a man, and then they're...
No, you're wrong.
Okay, so you tell me.
A transgender man is someone who's assigned female at birth but is a man.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No, it's not. You said they want to be.
Okay, so they become a man.
No. Yes. Well, I mean, at the age of adulthood, but yeah. Thank you for the donuts.
So they develop into a man, but they still have their female reproductive system, therefore they can still get pregnant. That's it, Freya. It's not that complicated.
Oh yeah, no, I get that that's your side. I get that. But are we talking more? You're not thinking the other way, which is genuine men with penises can get pregnant, because when
cisgender men cannot get pregnant now.
Yes, so that's what I think everyone's.
We're not saying in any way, shape, or form that cis men can get pregnant.
Right now, okay. Can you put the comments on for 2 seconds? Is that okay?
Not if you're going to engage with them.
No, I won't engage. Then
why do you want them on?
Just so I can see if everyone's ripping me to shreds. I will not engage, but I will just want to see if...
Freya, I got 14 people in requests. If you're here for a conversation with the comments, I'm happy to drop you back down and you can engage with the comments. If you want to talk to Mel and I, then comments are staying off.
2 seconds. My thing is,
Tell you what, I'll give you the rest of the night the rest of the morning to talk to chat. There you go.
Yeah, no.
All right, comments are back.
We never said cisgender men can get pregnant. Nobody said that.
Everyone say hi to Freya in chat. Freya really wants to talk to you all. Am I a Satanist? Yes, I am. Where do I put my little... Hail Satan. What does cis mean? Cis means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity align.
So when we were talking about cisgender
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Jesus.
We are saying that men who were assigned male at birth cannot get pregnant. Cisgender men cannot get pregnant.
Exactly. Guys, the support this morning has been amazing, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you all. I absolutely love you all. Next up, if you're new to my live, hi, I'm Adora. I'm a post-op trans woman. I advocate for trans rights. If you're new, say hi in chat. If this is your first time seeing me, say hi in chat.
My kid had my phone yesterday when you were live and was saying things like,
Good morning.
And so if you saw me saying weird shit, it was her.
They're going to get you banned, Mel.
I know.
Hey there, Dreamwalker.
Good morning.
How old are you, please?
I was listening to the last conversation and I'm still really confused. I'm Gen X.
No problem.
I'm an old lady.
Okay. All right.
I'm really confused.
That's okay. We're here to explain.
Transgender, and I guess I'm on here just to learn and to understand the transgender, between the transgender man and the gay.
Okay.
Because my daughter's bisexual, so.
I gotta catch up on some stuff over on Twitch real quick. Someone redeemed points for hydrate. Thank you. And another person said, hope you're doing well today, friend. I am. Thank you. Let's start at the very beginning. Let's start at the top. Can men get pregnant?
From the top.
Sorry, I had a call coming in.
It's okay. Dreamwalker?
Yes.
Let's start at the very top. Can men get pregnant?
I don't think they can.
Okay, so when I make this statement, it's what I mean to be saying here is that transgender men can get pregnant. Does that make more sense?
I guess I don't know what a transgender man is.
Okay, so transgender means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity don't align. A transgender man is assigned female at birth, but their gender identity is man.
I guess I'm still lost.
Okay, so when a transgender man is born, they are typically female, and they typically have all the reproductive parts of a female, meaning a uterus, fallopian tubes, eggs, all that kind of stuff, ovaries. But their gender identity is man. Their sex is female. Their gender identity is man. Therefore, they are a transgender man because their sex and their gender don't align. Their sex is female. Their gender is man. They are men still. They are female still. And they are frequently capable of pregnancy.
Gotcha. Now I understand.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, because
Awesome. Fantastic.
the last lady on there was really throwing me and confusing me.
She wasn't really engaging much. So let me ask you this. Are transgender men men?
Not if the way you explained it, no.
The way I explain it is that biological sex is different than gender identity.
Right.
So when we talk about biological sex, we're talking about reproductive functions. We're talking about male, female, intersex. We're talking about penises. We're talking about vaginas. We're talking about chromosomes. We're talking about hormones, that kind of stuff. When we talk about gender, that's man, woman, non-binary, etc. We are talking about a psychosocial schema, specifically meaning that it is partially psychological, being in your brain, and partially social, meaning how we present ourselves, how we're perceived, the statements that we make about ourselves, that kind of stuff, not related to your reproductive functions. So sex and gender are different things. You can be female
Correct.
and have the gender identity of a man at the same time.
Right. So you could be born a female, but later you identify as a male, so...
Man.
But you're still female, but you're identifying as male.
As a man.
As a man.
Yes, not male. Man.
Sorry, as a man.
Yes. So
As I'm new to all these terminologies, forgive me.
See this person behind me?
Yes.
He is a man who was assigned female at birth and has given birth to his child.
Okay.
Yes.
Guys, how does my audio sound? Is it crackling right now? Can you guys hear me well?
Nope, you're great.
Sounds good? Sounds good to you guys? How does it sound to chat? And you figure, my mic doesn't have to be on the screen. My mic can be way far away from me. Is it still crackling?
No, I think you sound good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it usually sounds fine to us, but not
Yeah.
to the chat. It's
Okay.
just TikTok is weird.
I think I'm clear on it now, and thank you guys for...
Well, we're still trying to get you to understand though that
all.
transgender men are men, right? Because transgender is the adjective that describes the type of man.
Right.
The opposite of that is a cisgender man, and a cisgender man is a man who was assigned male at birth. So they're both men. One was assigned male at birth, one was assigned female at birth.
Right.
Both men.
So one would be man and one would be male.
No. They're both men. One is male and one
Both
is
men.
female.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
That's how they're both men. That's how men can get pregnant.
Yeah. I get it now.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Thank
fantastic.
you for your time.
You have a
And
good day.
I'm digging your jewelry. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I don't know where my other one is. I got one of these. I don't have the other one, so I just got like a little red stud on the other side.
Well, good thing your hair covers it. You can
Exactly.
I didn't even notice. So,
All right.
Have a great day.
You have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I do. I really like the earring. And you've been wearing a lot of dangly earrings lately.
Yes. My ears finally feel good. Like there's no pain at all. There's nothing. Yeah. Could you put your mic a little closer? I've been doing this kind of tech stuff for a few years. Just wanted to help. See, but
It sounds fine to me. I don't know.
when I put it close, people tell me that it sounds staticky when I have a guest. Like it seems to be a TikTok issue because when it's just me, and I'm just talking to chat, everyone tells me that it sounds fine. Doesn't matter how close I am, doesn't matter how far I am, no crackling sound. The moment I have guests up, suddenly there's a crackly sound for some people.
Right,
And
it
I know
just
shit
started.
all about sound.
I think it's kind of like the echo thing too, because you know how I had that echo?
Yeah.
And so Kasha joined my live yesterday and also had an echo and had to like restart and it was fine. So it's just some weird TikTok audio glitch. Because what's weird about your crackly thing, like if you're watching, you don't even crackle through the whole time. It just kind of comes and goes. Like
Weird,
even if you're talking to a guest, yeah, it doesn't stay consistently crackly. So
And my gain is all the way down, guys. It's all the way down. It's below the lowest setting. All right, we're going to bring on the next guest right now. A reminder, guys, that on the 25th, which is just a few days away now, at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a little trial run for LGBTQ speed dating. It's going to be just a little practice thing just to see if there's actual interest in it. If there's not, it'll be the one time we run it, and then we'll probably never run it again. But if it's something that you guys are actually interested in, yeah, we might start doing LGBTQ speed dating on this platform once a week, just to have something that's a little bit different. Because I don't want to stagnate. I don't want to just be doing the same topic every single day, the same exact stuff every single day. That gets boring. It gets boring for me. It gets boring for you all. I want to spice it up and do some fun stuff. Some stuff that's not as heavy as these debates. Some stuff that's just for fun. So we're going to try that out on Thursday, and you can register for that up on my profile. Hello, how you doing?
Hello, I'm pretty well. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 33.
Fantastic. Can men get pregnant?
Well, I mean, based on your guys' terminology, because I was just learning as you guys were going along now. So what you guys consider a man or men, basically doesn't relate to biology, correct?
I mean, the only bit of biology that gender attaches to is your brain.
Your brain? I mean, well...
Yes.
That can't be true, right? Because XY chromosomes and XX chromosomes.
That's related to biological sex. Biological sex is your reproductive functions, male, female, intersex. It relates to your genitalia, your chromosomes, your hormone levels, all that kind of stuff.
Sex. Okay. Well, you know, I think I understand. I think it's just the way we use the word men, you know, like, because that's what I was going to argue pretty much, that, like, if you are a biological male, you know, you can't get pregnant. But I get what you're saying in the sense that if you're trans, you could get pregnant. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen what looks like men have children now.
Not what looks like men.
Yeah,
Men.
actual men, for real men.
Well, yes, that's real men, I guess. Okay,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Are transgender men men?
Well, when it comes to the terminology, I wouldn't agree with it, no. And socially, I would definitely call them a man. I would respect them as a man. Same thing with like a trans girl. You know, I would call her a she and respect her as a she. But logically, it just doesn't make sense to me because you can't change DNA, you know?
Nobody is claiming to.
Right, yeah. We're not claiming to be able to change DNA. But don't forget that we're talking about different aspects of the human experience. Biological sex, reproductive functions, gender, psychosocial. Different parts of the human experience. So whether or not you're a man, that's the psychosocial part. Whether or not you are male, that is the biological sex part.
Exactly.
Well, it
So
just...
transgender men are...
Sorry, go ahead.
Just really quick. Transgender men are not cisgender men. That's why we use the adjectives transgender and cisgender. They're both men. We're both describing the noun man, right? But we're using transgender and cisgender. So transgender is saying...
You guys have to admit, it is really confusing.
It's okay for it to be confusing.
And yeah, that's all I'm saying is that I'm trying to get all these terms.
Right, so people just assume that men are male, right?
Yeah.
And they're not. That's it. It's actually pretty simple. All men are not male. Some men are female. That's it. That's what a transgender person is a person whose gender identity does not align with their sex assigned at birth.
But that seems almost like a mental disorder, because like say I was Chinese, you know, and I just was telling everybody.
No.
Let me just give an example.
That's lying. That's not the same thing at all. Your gender identity literally develops in your brain.
Look, I just want to give an example, okay?
It's a bad example.
No, I just want to talk, that's all. And I'll let you guys tell me right after what you
JC, I don't want to go into race. I don't want to go into race.
Okay, we don't have to go into race. We could go into something else. Let's say I want to be tall, and I say I'm tall. That I can't.
That's the thing. So, you can't. It's not about a want, and it's not about lying.
Let me just finish. I'm not able to get my point across.
Wait,
let me
you
just finish.
To me, because I know what you're going to say. It's not about a want, and it's not about lying.
No, that's not what I'm going to say.
You just said that you're going to lie about your height.
Let me just finish. That's all I'm asking.
All right, go for it.
Thank you. So all I'm saying is that, okay, and I won't go into race, but say I'm really, really obese and short. And I tell everybody, you know, I feel like a tall person and a skinny person. The problem with that is that
JC, you keep going into areas.
let me finish. Let me just finish real quick. I'm almost done. No. So the problem with that.
No, I don't want to. No, JC, you're doing all right with. Yeah.
About saying that these things that you're talking about, you would be lying, right?
You guys aren't hearing my point. Let me just finish my point.
No one is lying about their gender identity.
We're not getting into weight, okay? Not doing it.
But you guys don't even know what I'm saying, because I can't finish my point.
Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to compare it to something that's not comparable, and therefore you can't understand it.
If you let me finish my point, it'll make a lot of sense.
Are you listening to me?
We've heard your point a dozen times.
You cannot.
That's putting it lightly.
Seriously.
Hundreds of times.
Look, all I'm saying.
Listen. Gender identity is different than all of these things you're trying to compare it to. And when you try to compare it to other things, that's why you're not understanding. You're not understanding because you're looking at as a want, and you're looking at people as lying about their gender identity. That is not what your gender identity is.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, I don't know why you can't listen. You're saying that someone is tall, wants to be short, or someone's short.
Mel, you're not letting me finish. I'm not trying to argue with you. No, you don't, because I haven't even made the point yet.
Make your tall arguments.
Okay, please just let me finish. I'll let you guys say whatever you want after.
Talk about height. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, it's related to DNA. It's not about height. That's why I'm trying to make my point. Okay, so same thing. If I was a different race, different height, different size, it doesn't matter.
Drop 'em.
What I'm trying to say.
It can't respect the boundary. Jesus.
Yeah. Fucking hell. We're not going to put down other communities to make our points. That's not happening.
When you keep and I used to do this too, because a lot of people are taught this, right? When you keep looking at gender identity as a choice, as a want, it is confusing, because people are like, why would you want to do that? You can't want to be something else, and people are going to validate you. So why are you going to do it with gender? It's because it's not a want. It's a different thing. So when you're trying to compare those, you're never going to understand.
Exactly, 100%.
You have to understand that gender identity actually develops in your brain.
All right, I want to say a quick thank you to Queegee, who just subscribed over on Twitch. Thank you so much. Anyone who does subscribe, either on Twitch or to the Discord tier here on TikTok, you do get access to the Best Friend Squad Discord. We have changed things up slightly. You no longer have to pass the questionnaire. If you want full access to the Discord, you have to pass the questionnaire. But everybody who subscribes to the Discord tier does get at least partial access to the Discord. Full access, though, you still have to pass the questionnaire. All right, next up.
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
Hey, it's going great so far. Just listening to everybody complaining, I guess. It's pretty much just cut and dry, right? That's.
I do need to know your age, sorry.
I'm 36, male.
36, fantastic. All right, so can men get pregnant?
No.
Why not?
Because they're men. They don't have the
Vagina?
ability to get
uterus.
Pregnant. Yeah,
some do.
do.
Yep, some do.
No, some don't. No.
Yep. See this man in my picture here? He has given birth to his child.
No.
Yes. It's really funny he came in and said this is.
He's literally in chat right now. Like,
hi, Jaden.
he's here.
Hi, nice to meet you.
This is not tokenizing.
To those of you who think this is tokenizing, no, it's not. First of all, we have Jaden's permission to use his image and talk about him. And second of all, Jaden's literally here right now.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you, guy.
Yeah, guy who was given birth.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, that I don't understand, but
it's okay to not understand. We're here to explain.
I mean, it's for me. I'm very open. I'm very open-minded,
okay.
Very fair about everything, and I think there's 3 genders. Let me put it out there. There's man, woman, and hermaphrodite. Right?
No. That's a slur. Do not use that term, and that would be intersex is a sex anyways, not a gender.
Right.
So sorry, what?
Man, woman, non-binary, and then there's identity.
No. Then you start getting into feelers and stuff like that.
No. So it's really funny how you say you're open-minded, but you're actually completely rejecting this information.
No, well, I'm open to hear about it.
You don't seem to be. Every time I give you a fact, you're like, no. Mm-mm.
I'm listening. It seems like
so gender identities, like man, woman, non-binary, under the non-binary umbrella, those are identities. I don't know why you said no.
No, identity. That's the
gender identities. Gender identities.
Yeah, that's the stuff that's going wide. I think is identity.
What?
They're not genders. They're identities.
They're gender identities.
There's not.
They're not sexes. Sexes are different.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, those are different things. Sex and gender are different. Right, so you can be female. Michael, if you're open-minded, you can listen, right? You can be female. You can be female, and you can be a man.
And hermaphrodite.
Okay.
I already told you not to use that term. Goodbye. Yeah. I could not have made that clearer. Like, that's a slur. Look, I get not knowing the first time. When it comes to some slurs, I'll give someone a second chance, assume that they didn't know. But when you say it a second time after I told you not to say it, you're out. We don't tolerate that here. Okay. So we got a pretty big list of people requesting, guys. So TikTok doesn't tell me what order people have requested in. So if you want to get to the top of the list, typically sending a rose or 2 will get to the top of the list. TikTok sorts the list by the amount of gifts that you've sent. So typically just 1 or 2 roses will get you right to the top.
So it make it so like I can see that you have requests, but I can't look at them anymore. So like I couldn't add a guest for you or anything anymore.
Weird.
Yeah, what the hell?
Hello, my boy. How you doing?
Hello. Hi.
How old are you, please?
I'm 29.
29. Fantastic. And can men get pregnant?
I'm not really sure. I don't know much about it. But from my knowledge, it's something that has to be basically installed into someone's body, like a system for them to reproduce a human if they don't have one. Is that how it works?
No.
What I'm specifically talking about in this instance is transgender men who are assigned female at birth but are men. So a transgender man frequently has a uterus, ovaries, fallopian tubes, and is frequently capable of pregnancy.
Wait, did you say that they were assigned what at birth?
Assigned female at birth.
Okay, and then they transition to a man.
They develop.
They are a man. Yeah.
Okay, so did they have any biological like surgery in that case?
No, you would not have surgery. You wouldn't be able to. Well, I mean, you could have maybe some types of surgeries as long as you still have a uterus and you are still capable of growing a baby.
Okay, so then the trans part would just be the kind of the identity part of it, not the biological part of it.
Pumpka, I took care of Twitch. Thank you, though.
Trans is an adjective that describes so when we're talking about a transgender person, it just means their gender identity does not align with their sex. It doesn't mean transition.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't have to be somebody that does something like physically to themselves.
Correct. Yeah, you don't have to have to be transgender. You don't have to have any type of surgery.
Okay. Well, in that case, then yeah. If you have a biological female body, then you can get pregnant. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
I guess the only thing I would be concerned about is just like me personally, I think it's wrong to how do you say? I do have concerns about like the biological what's it called? Like surgery, hormones, things like that. I feel like that stuff.
Why?
Well, because I think we might see later down the line that stuff does not.
We don't see that.
You know?
Yeah, we already have studies on this. This isn't new.
Yep. Less than 1% of people who start gender affirming care end up regretting it.
What is it?
Less than 1% of people who start gender affirming care end up regretting it.
I mean,
we have studies that show this.
Which means
as well as my own anecdotal experience.
99% success rate.
Yeah. 99.6% actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I also feel like it is quite confusing, and I understand that, but I also think
it's okay to be confused.
It's okay to be confused, but I think it can get dangerous when you're younger. Like me, you know, I'm 29. I can sit and have a conversation, but if I was like, 11 or 12, and I was like emotionally and mentally confused, I might I might just want to be what I would want to follow along other.
Why would you want to follow along to one?
Because I don't know myself, and that's why I think it's dangerous around younger people.
It's not right, because again, being transgender is not a choice. People aren't making choices to be trans.
No, I understand. I'm just saying.
Even if a child thinks that they may be, even if in a rare case a child thinks that maybe they can choose to be trans, they can't. So there's nothing is going to happen to that child.
No, I understand. I'm just saying it's because it's a confusing topic, as a kid.
All right, it's not confusing as children. Actually, if children would be educated on this at young ages, they wouldn't be confused. The reason why it's confusing is because adults were taught incorrect information, so they're having to relearn things, and that is a very difficult thing for adults to do. To have to recognize that they learned something incorrectly and to relearn it and be open to that new information. And it's confusing for adults. It's difficult for adults. It's not difficult for children.
That could be an argument. Yeah, sure. Okay, well, another thing I have a problem with, I mean, I'm not here to complain or argue, but something that I don't understand is the whole bathroom situation. There are certain areas, I go to an art school, and there's one certain building that only has what do you call it? A non-binary bathroom situation.
Gender neutral?
A gender neutral, yeah. And so don't really feel comfortable being in a bathroom where women can also walk into it. You know, I think that's also kind of strange.
Is it just because it's a new thing for you?
No, it's not that. I just think that it's kind of...
Which bathroom should I go into?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't think, it's not about isolation or like, you know, social isolation, but it's more about like the existing social, you know, environment and kind of like it's a bit destructive, I would say, in the sense that like
I asked you which bathroom I should go into, and then now we're talking about whether it's destructive or not.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about how there are existing, like, you know, men and women who have certain social, you know.
Really quickly, do you know that transgender people aren't new?
No, I absolutely know that, yeah.
So transgender people have already been using the bathrooms that align with their identities for decades.
No, I understand. I'm not talking about, see, this is the thing, I'm not talking about transgender people using the bathroom. I'm talking about, like, cisgender people using the bathroom and how it can be uncomfortable for a cisgender person to be in the bathroom with the opposite sex. You know, I don't think that's...
Right, so I think you just need to adjust to that. It's a new adjustment. Like, we shouldn't be worried about what somebody's sex is when we're just going to the bathroom.
Well, it's kind of selfish to like...
Does this gender neutral bathroom that you use have like floor to ceiling stalls?
Yeah, but that's not really like... That doesn't solve the problem, you know?
What problem? You're implying that there's some type of problem. What's the problem? You being uncomfortable?
Yeah, me being uncomfortable. Just like...
Why are you uncomfortable with women in the bathroom with you?
I mean, it's not just me. Like, I'm speaking for people, like, in general.
Speak for yourself, because...
No, I mean, there are people who... I mean, yeah, you're speaking for the transgender community, so I can speak for the cisgender community. It's not
I am cisgender, so what?
I know, but you're speaking on the behalf... You're supporting the trans...
I'm not speaking for transgender people.
Yeah, and I'm supporting the cisgender community.
So what I'm doing is, though, is asking you why this is making you, specifically you, uncomfortable. Because I think that's what you need to do. You need to unpack why you're uncomfortable and make yourself no longer uncomfortable.
Well, it's uncomfortable because if I walk into into a bathroom and I know a girl and, you know, she comes into the bathroom and it's not really, it's just wrong. Like, I don't,
why?
How explain it to you.
Why?
Because because I'm in there and it's vulnerable and it's like
what are you vulnerable to?
Yeah, aren't you going into a stall?
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, let's just say I'm a traditional person, like a very traditional person.
Then whether or not you're traditional has nothing to do with this.
It does, because traditional people are a lot more, you know, like separate.
Close-minded.
No, not close-minded. Oh, sure.
No, close-minded.
Okay, I mean, you can say close-minded, whatever, but like, we are more separated. We appreciate, you know, the separation between men and women. Let's say that I'm that kind of person.
You appreciate
Do I not deserve
the Okay, that's what I'm asking you, though. You said you appreciate the separation. Why?
Because we think we like it's out of respect. That's how we see it. We respect
what is disrespectful about just walking in to use the restroom? We literally have gender neutral bathrooms in public in the DC area, and you know what I do when I go in there? I go pee. I wash my hands and I mind my business. I'm not worried about who's in the stall next to me. So what are you even talking about?
I understand. I'm just saying to a person like me or other people who think like me, it's disrespectful to.
It's not just
how
in the same.
We're asking you how, and you're not answering.
Unpack this. You just keep saying it's disrespectful. It's uncomfortable.
Okay.
Why?
What is disrespectful about a gender neutral bathroom?
What is it?
Thank you for the rose.
What is disrespectful about a gender neutral bathroom?
It's. I mean, you know, from my point of view, a woman who wants to take care of her, you know, like private needs should be something that I should not be anywhere near, because I'm, a male.
Are you talking about like if we're on our period or something?
No, just any kind of,
What other private needs are we taking care of? Peeing?
Yeah.
Peeing?
Again, we have stalls, private stalls.
I know. I'm not saying I'm dude. It's just.
I promise
You're not explaining yourself at all, my boy.
You're not, and I promise you that women are not worried about who is like peeing next to them. We go in there, we do our business, we wash our hands, and we leave. This is not difficult.
I'd like to hear what Michaela has to say if she wants to speak.
Right. So you're saying people would be uncomfortable with a gender neutral bathroom?
Yeah. I think it's
specifically him. He is uncomfortable with it.
No, it's not just me. It's many people.
Well,
honestly.
you were saying you were included in those people, right?
Me, yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah. So we're talking to you, not to other people.
Yeah, I'm explaining to you why it's making me uncomfortable with it.
You haven't explained anything, though. Go ahead, Michaela.
Right. You have to explain specifically what the problem is.
The problem is that if you're a woman and I'm a man and we're in the same bathroom and I hear you doing all this stuff and I see you and it's just, it's not right. It's kind of, I mean, you're right. I'm not having the best time explaining it, but what do you want me to, what else do you want me to explain about it?
What harm is being done to you?
What harm is being done to me?
What are you
harm?
hearing?
It's about.
What are you hearing that a woman is doing that you're uncomfortable with? You do know that we have similar bodily functions as you, right?
No, I understand, but
So you might want to just work on why this is making you feel uncomfortable. This isn't a woman problem. This is a you problem.
No, dude. It's
okay. Which, if you're so uncomfortable with females in the same space as you, which restrooms should trans men use?
I mean, personally, I think the solution is that there should be a separate bathroom.
For?
Yeah, there should be a third bathroom.
For who?
For transgender.
For transgender people.
Yeah.
You can't see any problem with that.
Actually, I guess another thing could be a male, female, and a non-binary bathroom.
Okay, so do you think that transphobia exists?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that transgender people face higher rates of violence than cisgender people?
Potentially, yes.
4 times the rates of cisgender people. Specifically, black transgender people face exceptionally high rates of violence. So do you think that a transgender person using a transgender bathroom might put them in danger?
I mean, personally, I would, the way I see it is that I think it's appropriate and I think it's fair to give, people in society what they need. I don't think
appropriate and fair to set transgender people up to be more likely to be harmed.
Right. So what if a trans person goes in to not the cisgender bathroom? Then what?
No, it's not a problem.
What if they just don't use that bathroom that you want to be created? What would be the punishment for that?
See, my problem is not using the bathroom with a transgender person. My problem is using the bathroom with the opposite sex.
We don't segregate bathrooms by sex.
And why do you have a problem with that?
I've asked him why so many times.
Because it's a very vulnerable and private thing to do, and it makes sense to, use the bathroom with the same sex.
My boy, do you have any ability to actually make a point? You've just said the same thing over and over and over.
And I would.
You have absolutely no reason. Sorry, Michaela, I totally interrupted.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was me. And I also would argue that it would put cisgender people in danger as well, because we all there are plenty of people that look androgynous, that look like the other gender, even though their biological sex and their gender identity aligns. Are you aware of that?
Thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, look,
So if there's a cisgender woman who has like masculine features, don't you think people are going to start harassing her if you're saying, oh, you need to watch out for these people with a different biological sex than you?
No, I know. I see. I don't know. I see. I'm not aware of like what happens around bathrooms. Maybe we're talking about like, you know, whatever. I'm just talking about very like casual interaction inside the bathroom, which for some reason.
Why does that bother you? We're trying to get through to you. Why does that bother you? Did you grow up in a family with a mom?
Yes.
Have you ever gone to like birthday parties or something where everybody, you know, men and women and boys and girls, they all use the same bathroom?
Well, yeah, that's a private bathroom. That's not like a public bathroom.
But you're still using the same bathroom, right? Like, so in this
No, that's different. See, that's way
in
different.
this
If it was a
gender
private
neutral bathroom
bathroom,
you talked about, right? You said that it had floor to ceiling stalls, correct?
no. If it's a private bathroom, that's not part of this conversation. We're talking about.
No, in a
public.
gender neutral bathroom, are there stalls that go floor to ceiling?
Sure.
Yes. So why can't you view that as a private bathroom, like in a home?
Because it's not. Because it's a public space.
But you're not all going into the same stall together, are you?
Look,
I just want to know why you care why it's perfectly fine for like other men to hear you pee, but you have an issue with it if it's a woman. It's weird.
No, it's not weird. I mean, okay,
No,
maybe
it's
weird,
literally weird.
but it's weird to me. So it's like, how can we come to a middle ground?
Thank you for the sob. I'm not looking for a middle ground. I'm unwilling to compromise on basic human rights.
Also, if you have issues with doing things in public, then don't use public spaces because it's a you problem.
Right, it's weird to you, so why do we need to change things? Have a middle ground because it's weird to you. You go use a different bathroom.
Because we both have issues with it, so there should be a middle ground, and that's kind of something that's kind of the point of what I'm trying to say is that I think that these laws are forced on everybody, but I don't appreciate that. You know, there are people who don't agree with this.
What are the laws? What are the laws you're talking about?
I mean, maybe not a law, but like this kind of this urban architecture, this urban design. That's
urban architecture is wild.
What is this?
Like, and what do you mean like both sides have a problem? One side has one side is the one with the problem. Everybody else just wants to use the bathroom.
No, I wouldn't say so. I think it's just it's more like if it happened the other way around, then you know you.
What
wouldn't
other
feel
way
that way.
around?
We
If the bathrooms were, you know, they were reversed back to normal, then it would be. I mean, I don't want to say normal, but if they were reversed, then it would be a problem for you, wouldn't it?
What do you mean reversed? What I'm saying is in the past, people got to use the bathroom at their discretion. No one was like harassing them in the bathroom, asking them what their biological sex is, right? That is how it's supposed to be. People should just go and use the bathroom that they're most comfortable with.
Wait, in the past, like when?
I mean, yeah, just before this, like the last election year, and they've been trying to attack trans people.
Right, I told you this a long time ago. Like, trans people have already been using the bathrooms that align with their identities. This isn't new.
So then why do we have non-binary bathrooms? I don't understand.
Gender neutral, non-binary bathrooms are not.
Or sorry, gender neutral.
It's a more
so that anyone can use them.
So it is something different then.
Yeah, you know, this gender neutral bathroom these places are very rare still at this point, especially in the United States. But because this has changed, we're asking you, why does it bother you? And you're like, well, just because I'm just uncomfortable. Well, figure out why you're uncomfortable. If you can't get past it, don't use the bathroom. I don't know what to tell you.
And trans people are not excluding cisgender people from using the bathroom. That's what's it's the other way around what's happening.
I mean, as see, the problem is that you are, because you're basically, you know, you're saying that cisgender people, you know, they can't continue practicing what they always have practiced.
In what way are transgender people telling cisgender people that they can't use public restrooms? I want to hear this. Rawr, they give you the tiny. What laws are we passing banning
away-
cisgender people from the bathroom?
When you take away the separation between the opposite sexes, you're telling them how to practice using the bathroom.
What does that mean? Practice using the bathroom?
Yeah.
So you're blaming trans people for gender neutral bathrooms? For one thing, trans people didn't do that.
And also, bathrooms are again for everyone. So, and this is the thing: trans people are not saying that all bathrooms have to be gender neutral, and they're not passing laws to do that. And like, I don't know what your point is.
Yeah, well, anyways, that's just the bathroom argument. But,
I think it's a Did you know that there was a woman who was mistaken for being transgender, and she was harassed in the bathroom because she looked masculine?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely believe that there is absolute discrimination and injustice that happens to transgender people and the transgender community. That's not my argument.
Yes, but this is going to further push that stigma. Is what you're not understanding. You saying that trans people have to be separate. That's implying they're a danger, and that will put more stigma on them.
And for some reason, you're uncomfortable with going to the restroom with women.
My boy, I think this conversation's gone on long enough. I don't feel like we're making any progress here, and I got loads of people waiting, so I'm going to move on.
Yeah, it's okay. I can drop anyways. All right,
Figure out why you don't like the gender neutral bathroom, and if you don't like it, don't use it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. Like here in the DMV, we have tons of public spaces that have gender neutral restrooms, and people just go in, do their business, and leave. That's it.
It's just a new thing for some people. They just need to get used to it. It's silly.
So, anyway, thank you for letting me up, Adora.
No
I
problem.
hope everybody has a
Thank you for coming
day.
on. You too.
Hi, Kel.
Hey there, Michaela. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you, Adora?
Doing all right. All right. So there's something new I'm going to try. Because when I have a lot of requests, I never know who's next. But TikTok does sort by coins. So the person who sends the most coins is the person who ends up on the top, the person who comes up next. That's only going to be for when I'm buried in requests. When I have smaller amounts of requests, I won't do this. But when I have 20, 30 requests and I have no idea who's next, the person who sends the most roses comes up next.
Hello.
Hello, Tiffany. How you doing?
Good.
How old are you, please?
I am 31.
31. Fantastic. And can men get pregnant?
No. I don't believe so.
Okay, why not?
Well, I've obviously been listening to your conversation today, saying to a lot of other people that are men that are born with sort of reproductive organs. But
Your audio is very muffled. Is there anything you can do about that?
Sorry, 1 second, sorry. Is that better?
A bit, yes.
So I've been listening to your whole conversation sort of today about how you're saying that there are men that are born with reproductive organs. But that's an exception to the rule. You know, an average man is not born with reproductive organs.
Sure, a typical man isn't female. Typically a man is male, but sometimes a man is female.
In a very small percentage of the humanity. How many men are born?
The percentage isn't relevant. They are still men.
But that's a very weak argument to say, because some people are born with 3 arms, 3 legs. That's not a normal. I say normal. That's the wrong word. Do you know what I mean? But that's not an average male person that is born.
Again, not relevant. Whether trans men are the majority of men, whether there's only one transgender man, it doesn't make it less true. A transgender man, no matter how many of them there are men and are sometimes capable of getting pregnant, and so therefore men can get pregnant.
But that's not all men, is it? An average man that is born with his organs that he's supposed to have, a male at birth with a penis, with no ovaries,
there's no
all that.
supposed to, but Tiffany, nobody said all men. It doesn't say all men. It says men.
Okay, but
we know all men.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you something because I don't actually know the answer to. So when a man is born, and it's obviously something's whatever happened in the womb, and they're born with reproductive organs, what makes them assigned male or female at birth?
Observation of genitalia.
Yep.
So if they have a penis, they are a male on their birth certificate.
Yeah, they assume they are male.
Right. They assign that on the birth certificate. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that that baby is going to be a man.
What do you mean? If it's born with it, so if a man,
so the male baby could be a girl, a woman.
How? How's a man baby a woman?
A man baby, a male baby.
A male baby. Sorry. How is a male baby a woman?
Because some people are assigned male at birth, but their gender identity is incongruent. That's what.
And a male baby would not be a woman.
Right. They would grow into.
What was that word? Sorry, you used, Mel?
They would grow into a woman. They could eventually be a woman. I'm saying you cannot assume that a male baby will grow up to be a man.
A male baby at birth. You're telling me that they're not a man when they're an adult?
Not all. Nope.
Not all.
How?
Some people's sex and gender don't align.
Okay, okay. So say we're talking about a transgender person now. Say they grow up and they want to be a man and they were born a female.
Not a want.
They're not wanting to. No.
Okay, not wanting to. Okay. My words maybe are not exactly. Say they believe or they identify in their head they're not a man anymore. They're a woman. They want to be a woman.
No, it's not.
Maybe they've always felt like that. They might have always felt.
Tiffany, Adora right here. Adora, we don't need a hypothetical trans woman. We literally have one right here.
Okay, I don't. Sorry.
Woman.
Okay, so say how if you always felt like you're a woman.
She is a woman who was assigned male at birth.
Okay, but with the least amount of disrespect possible, you are not a woman. You've not been a woman. You now want to be a woman.
No.
And you can't. You're going to get aggressive with me, but that's not.
You're simply wrong.
Your opinion is your opinion, and my opinion is my opinion. But
this isn't an opinion. You are wrong. You are factually wrong.
But why am I wrong?
Because you don't choose your gender. You don't want your gender. You are your gender.
My personal opinion is you're choosing your gender because you're choosing not to be a man anymore.
Okay, choose to be a man.
No, you're not. Well, I could if I wanted to.
Tiffany. Oh, okay, do it. Choose to be a man.
I don't want to because I'm a female, so I identify as a female.
So you can't.
What do you mean? I was born female.
You can't choose to be a man.
I could if I wanted to. Identify, but I'm not going to be a man.
Do it. Choose to be a man.
Female.
I can't.
Sorry?
I can't choose to be a man. I'm not a man. I'm a woman.
Yeah, like Tiffany, why do you think all of these? Wait, Tiffany, why do you think all of?
So a man can then change to a woman and be a woman, but a woman can't be a man. Is that what you just said?
No, a man is not changing to be a woman. Tiffany,
why do you think people are lying about their gender identity when they're telling you they're trans? Why do you think they're lying?
Well, and by the way, when I'm saying this stuff, I'm not being I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just saying I believe you was born a man.
No, Tiffany, answer the question I just gave you.
Yeah, go on.
I'm asking you, why do you believe they're lying when they're telling you this is my gender identity?
I didn't accuse them of lying. You've used the word lying. If anybody wants to identify and say you're a woman, happy days for you. It doesn't bother me. I'm happy for you.
You seem pretty bothered.
I still believe you're a man.
No, Tiffany, Adora told you who she is, and then you're saying no, you're not.
I'm happy for that. You can identify as a cat for all I care. It doesn't bother me.
No, people don't identify as cats, Tiffany. That's very
You're not hurting me. You're not hurting me. You're not hurting anyone. I'm happy for you. That makes
dehumanizing.
Super dehumanizing.
How is it dehumanizing? Just because
people don't identify as cats.
You can't say that. You can't attack people that don't have the same opinion as you. That's not
Tiffany.
Conversation.
Very bothered.
Tiffany. Nobody is identifying as a cat.
Okay, it was an example. You could identify as...
That was a bad example.
Tell me that you have no gender. That's fine. I don't care. That's fine. That's fine.
Great. Some people do have no gender.
Okay, that's how they want to go throughout their life. That's fine, but you can't push that on other people. That I believe there are men, there are women, and obviously sometimes there are people born with both, bits.
So, Tiffany, you are incredibly bothered. I don't know why you keep saying you're not bothered when you're getting angry.
No. The thing is, you're being so aggressive. You're being so aggressive to people that don't.
You're not even engaging in any point that's being made.
But
we're not being aggressive, Tiffany.
You're not allowing anyone else to have an opinion. What makes you right and me wrong is what I would love to know.
No, Tiffany, you're being defensive right now.
I'm not
because what we're saying, like what you're saying right now, even if you don't mean to, right, is extremely dehumanizing. Comparing trans people to people that identify as cats, which is not a thing, right? It's very dehumanizing.
That really is. That is a thing. There's a student at my child's school who identifies as a cat. That's a real thing.
No,
it's not.
It is a real thing.
Okay, that person doesn't want human rights.
Well,
Tiffany,
I'm not getting into that. I don't know.
Tiffany, what you're talking about is a completely anecdotal story that we cannot confirm or deny. We have to take your word.
I agree.
So that's not good enough. If you want to show me that people are identifying as a species other than human, you're going to have to give me actual hard information proving that point.
Okay, I agree. So ignore that. Going back to if I believe a man at birth can then just be a woman later in life. No, I don't. You can't suddenly change. You are a man or a woman.
Tiffany, people aren't even man. They're not men at birth. No one is a man.
Then? What is he then? What are you if you're born? You're not a man at birth. Doesn't make sense.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Tiffany, can you tell me the difference between sex and gender?
Tell me the real thing. I don't know. I know that if you identify, your sex is like your characteristics and things, isn't it?
I don't know is a perfectly valid answer.
Yeah.
So the difference between sex and gender, when we're talking about biological sex, we're talking about reproductive functions. When we're talking about gender, that is psychosocial, meaning it is partially psychological and it is partially social. They are different parts of the human experience. Terms like man, woman, and non-binary refer to gender. Terms like male, female, and intersex refer to your biological sex. Different aspects of the human experience. And while they typically align, typically if you're a male, you're a man. If you're a female, you're a woman. They don't always. Sometimes you can be a female man. Sometimes you can be a male woman.
So in a sense, you're saying that a man can be feminine and because it's the same thing as that's what you're saying to me.
No.
I was not talking about femininity or masculinity.
So what's the difference between saying that hang on, I'm confused now because you said so many different things. You've just said that a male can be I'm confused. What did you say? They're not born a male? Is that what you said? Or they are born a male?
Yeah, you're typically born male, female, or intersex.
Male, female, or intersex. Okay, so you're saying that a male can be a woman. Which is
I am a male woman.
And the word woman is more about your characteristics and how you carry yourself and how you identify, not actually your sex.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Right, okay. So when you say would you say your sex is male?
Genotypically, yes.
Yes. So you are a male, but you identify as a woman.
Yep. Making me transgender.
Right, okay. So when I think, it ticks a bit of people because the way people talk about it is like you're saying that you are actually a woman as sex. Do you understand what I'm saying?
She's not saying that she's a cisgender woman. That's why we use those adjectives.
Sorry?
She's not saying she's a cisgender woman. She's a transgender woman.
Yeah, okay, so now what I take from that with the least, I mean, I might not be saying the right things, but so to me, that's fine, and it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Happy days. I'm just saying that I will then see that you, for example, are born a male. You know, you have I don't know if you do now or whatever, I'm not getting into that, but you are born with a male genitalia. You now want to act, or, you know, act exactly how I do things that I do, whatever.
No!
You're still a male.
It has nothing to do with you.
Just because you're not, short hair, playing football, rah, 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 it doesn't make a difference. Do you get what I'm saying? You like what you like.
Okay, Tiffany, do you think it's possible for someone's sex and gender to not align? Do you think that's possible?
Well, clearly, because there's lots of people in the world like that.
Right, so why are you telling them that that's not actually their gender? Their gender is something else.
Because if someone is born a man, and then
not a man.
So they are a man.
No, babies are not men.
A male. Just so someone's a male that wants to be a woman.
No.
Act like a woman. It's exactly the same thing. I don't
No, it's not about wanting or acting like.
Like, Tiffany, do you actually want to learn in this conversation about this community, or are you just going to tell us what this community is?
I do feel like I don't get anywhere with this conversation.
Yeah, because you're getting everything incorrect. So instead of having us like teach you things, you're just guessing and assuming and then confusing yourself.
Like, that's why I'm asking you, are you willing to learn in this conversation, Tiffany? Are you willing to learn?
What do you think that I'm not getting from what you said? Because I have just learned a couple of things there about what you're saying about exactly termination, about male. I understand that, what you're saying about sex and gender. I do understand that part now.
Okay, what you're not understanding is it's not a choice. It's not a person pretending to be somebody else. It's just simply that some people's sex and gender don't align, and that's okay. Those people exist, and that's fine. Like what you're understanding is that trans people are valid in their identity.
Right, so a transgender woman who was assigned male at birth is not any less of a woman than a cisgender woman.
But I personally do not believe that.
Yeah, I know.
You shouldn't have. I mean, not that you can't carry yourself like that, because it's nothing to do with me. I have no right to say what people can and can't do.
You sure are saying it.
9 months. Well, I don't have the right to say that. It shouldn't really bother me either in my day-to-day. It doesn't bother me in my day-to-day.
It shouldn't bother you, but it does.
Well, it's not bothering me what people do in their own lives, but I don't have to agree or believe I believe what people are saying. I don't have to believe that.
We're not saying you have to, Tiffany.
No.
Just saying there's no point in you invalidating us.
Right, and we're just telling you, Tiffany, that it's the truth. Like, what if I said that?
No. See, the word truth there.
Tiffany,
the word truth. You're making out that I'm lying because yours is the truth, and
You're wrong. You're not lying. You're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong, Tiffany. Imagine if you told a person not all birds fly, and they're like, I don't agree. The birds that don't fly, they aren't birds. What would you say to them?
The birds that don't fly.
There are birds that don't fly.
Yes.
If a person said, I don't agree with that, all birds fly, so the birds that don't fly aren't birds, what would you say to that? What would you say to them?
Well, I'd say they are birds, aren't they? But we can tell that they're birds.
Well, yeah, you're saying that you would just be like, they are birds, you're wrong, right?
Yes, because that to me is a scientific fact. It's a bird.
Okay, great. It's a scientific fact. Great.
Yeah, to me,
it's a scientific fact that some people's sex and gender don't align. Not every woman is born female. That is a scientific fact.
Mm-hmm. But not every male is born. Sorry, what did you say last bit again?
Not every woman is born female. That is a scientific fact.
That's a scientific fact that not every female is born a woman.
No, what? No, not every woman is born female.
Sorry, the other way around, yeah.
Right.
Right, and what do you mean by that? Can you carry on a bit with that?
There are intersex people. There are people that are male that are also women. So not every woman is born female.
Okay, so in that circumstance, if someone's born a woman, but you're saying that they're...
No, you're not born a woman.
Sorry, you're born a female, but they actually are a man. What makes them a man?
Our nascent self.
Their gender identity.
Right.
So how they grow up and how they identify themselves.
No, but it's not a choice. They're not choosing. It's not about how they grow up. It's about them
literally
just growing up.
What do you see that makes us male? Not male, sorry, a man. What makes us a man?
They develop that way. Their gender identity develops incongruent from their sex. So instead of being a male developing into a boy and then a man, they are a male developing into a girl.
So in theory, it's part of our personality, gender.
No, it's not part of your personality.
So what is it then?
I just told you.
You grow up
gender identity.
Yes. So what is that? What is gender? What makes your gender identity? It's part of your personality. Surely it's how you.
It's just a development in your brain. I don't know why we all develop gender, but that's just the way that it is.
So for example,
I'm not a scientist.
Girly girl.
I don't know why,
say if you're a girly woman, that's part of your gender identity. No.
No, because there are mass. Sorry, Mel.
You're good. We're gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, because there are masculine women that are still women.
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. But that's part of their personality, whether you're masculine, whether you're feminine, whether, I don't know, all those things. That's personality traits, isn't it, too?
No, yeah, I'm saying that even if your personality trait is masculine, right, or considered masculine within society, your gender identity stays the same. So your gender identity is not determined on how masculine or feminine you are.
So what else is gender identity if it's not that?
It just develops in your hypothalamus.
But what is it? I'm asking you to explain what it is to me.
There's not a particular way, Tiffany, to be a woman. There's not a specific way that you have to act to be a woman.
No.
The only thing that groups us all together is that we identify as women.
So what? Yeah, this is then the point gets to. So what? How do we identify as a woman? What makes us a woman?
It's just an understanding we have in with ourselves. It's not. It's just an understanding.
To me, it would be
just
you're
like
a woman
Tiffany.
if you have a vagina and you can
No, it's not about having a vagina.
That's how I would identify as a woman. 100%.
Tiffany, do you know your sexuality?
As in, like, if I'm straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Right. Is that like, how do you know you're straight?
Because when I have those feelings towards someone else, it would be towards a man, or I fancy a man, or I want, those feelings.
Right. So it's just who you are, right?
Sexuality, yeah.
Okay. That with gender identity, it's just who you are. It's just like how you feel. That's just who you are.
You just
and you
know
recognize that. That's it.
It's not more complicated.
Okay, yeah. But so yeah, I understand that. So I kind of get what you're saying, but it's not on equal power is what I'm saying. I wouldn't see it as a woman who's, sorry, I'll get these fucking terminology right. So a female that's grown up a woman and identifies as a woman, that was a female at birth, is a woman. But I do appreciate that some people might have been born a male and, identify themselves as female. No, sorry, as a woman.
We're also women.
Sorry, as a woman. But they're not the same. It's not the same thing.
They're not the same, right? That's why if you're female and a woman, you're a cisgender woman. And if you're male and a woman, you're a transgender woman. They're different things, but they're both women.
Yeah, we're not saying that it's the same. Just like we're saying, like, birds that don't fly and birds that can fly are two different types of birds, but they're still birds. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of get where you're going with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
A bit more clearer. You're not saying it's the same thing, because sometimes I think on these things, that's what you hear. I've heard that many a times. And I just think, it's not the same thing, is it? But yeah. You've explained it a bit better.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Happy days.
Okay, so it sounds to me like we made a little bit of progress. I think that's awesome. I think this is a good stopping point.
Thanks, guys.
Tiffany, thank you for coming up. You have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
On the bird analogy. I'm just saying.
I love the bird analogy. This is why I say, though, I think in the future, probably in the near future, we're going to have people just being proud to be cisgender. Because now that they have an understanding of,
we're literally going to have cis pride marches. I guarantee it. There will be cis pride marches.
Because we're never saying that a trans woman is a cis woman. Like, that's not what we're saying. Never said that.
Yep. All right, so I've decided to make a small change to my platform because that's what I do. I just change everything all the time, constantly. It's a very small change. My morning lives are going to debates. My evening lives are going to be education and positivity. We're going to schedule the evening lives, though. Here's how it's going to go, guys. Monday night is going to be a Q&A. Tuesday night is going to be Trans Joy. Wednesday night is going to be a Q&A. Thursday night will be either Trans Joy or speed dating, depending on how well speed dating does. And Friday night is going to be a questionnaire. I'm going to do something a bit different for the Trans Joy lives, though. Right now, the Trans Joy lives have basically been me asking people to come up and share their joy, but I want to structure those lives a little bit more because there's a lot of dead air on the Trans Joy lives right now. So I do read from Gender Euphoria. That takes up a big chunk of time, though. It's about half an hour. People get bored. So here's what I've been proposing. If you want to be part of the Trans Joy Live, but don't want to come up, DM me. Let me know. Share with me a moment in my DMs that brought you joy, and tell me that you want it read on the Trans Joy Live, and I will read it. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If you want your Trans Joy read out loud on my live during a Trans Joy Live, DM me, share it with me, and just make sure that I know that it's for the Trans Joy Live.
So are you still doing the talent shows?
Yep, every Friday.
Cool.
All right, Daniel Sweet, you are next.
Oh, they didn't connect.
They didn't? Oh, damn. I'll give them another second because they're the people that send me 80 coins to come up. Thank you for the roses. So yeah, it's Monday through Friday. It's gonna go Q&A, Trans Joy, or speed dating, depending on how well speed dating does. And Friday will be the talent show.
And then you're off on the weekends?
Off on the weekends, which means I go live at random times on the weekends because I don't take days off. Hello, Danielle. How you doing?
Hear me?
Danielle, yes, I can. How old are you, please?
Okay, I'm 36 or 7 or maybe even 38. Born in 86. You lose track after like 35.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What is your take? Danielle? Did I lose you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
When you're off app, we can't hear
somebody
you.
mentioned lying, and one of the reasons why I'm usually I feel the way that I feel about transgender individuals is because I feel like it's leading our country into a place where lies are okay and real science is ignored, and I don't feel like that's a good way to 85 go about being a better country, having a better.
What lies are we
culture,
talking
etc.
about?
What?
What lies are we talking about?
She had just the other Mel was talking about lies. And I was just saying why
I just want to know
it's
specifically
important
what
that we
lie.
tell the truth about our gender and our what our body really is, you know.
Are you saying? I just want clarification. Are you saying that trans people are lying about their gender?
No, not gender. Not lying about their gender, but saying that men can get pregnant with no other information, which I agree with that statement. Men can get pregnant, but with no other information, that's just gonna have a slew of people coming in saying, "Oh no, they can't. Oh no, they can't. Oh no, they can't."
Can women get pregnant?
What?
Can women get pregnant?
Yes, absolutely. So the only time a man can get pregnant,
about 25% of women struggle with fertility issues. 25%. So
Okay, but that
the
doesn't
statement
mean they
women
can't
can get
get-
pregnant isn't exactly a fair statement because a lot of women can't.
Right.
Yeah, no. I agree. You know, some can't. But the majority of women have a uterus. You know, can we agree on that? I mean, you know what I mean?
Just having a uterus doesn't mean you can get pregnant. Go ahead, Michaela.
Right. I do want Danielle. What do you mean by real science? I want to know what you mean by that. Like, what would you consider real science and then fake science?
Well, I have a master's degree in bioinformatics, so I studied molecular biology. I know, you know, it comes down to X and Y and XX, really. That's as simple as it gets. But for me, because if we're in a country where we are distorting the lines between men and women And I don't even have a problem with the bathroom thing. Like, I don't care if you go in the bathroom. I'm not looking.
Am I a
You're not
woman?
looking. But, when the politics start getting involved and the president gets involved.
Yeah, I want them out of transgender people's lives. I want the government to stop restricting transgender people. Am I a woman?
Wait. What?
Am I a woman?
You identify as a woman, yes.
That's not what I'm asking. I know how I identify. I'm asking you, am I a woman?
Yeah, you're a woman since it's gender, yes.
Fantastic.
So anyways, it's just concerned. I have 4 kids, right? So,
are you blaming the trans community for their oppression?
What?
Are you blaming the trans community for their oppression?
Okay, I don't really even like having discussions with you. I think you should leave the live, but
I don't care.
That's just in my opinion. Can you stop interrupting me, please? I'm not talking to you. I wanted to talk to Adora.
That's not how this works, right? Like, you can't just run it because you want to talk to the nicest person, right?
Okay.
That's not
No, it's not. It's just
I
wanted to talk to
have
her.
one question for you, and then
Because you're not transgender.
No, I'm not. That's correct. But are you blaming the transgender community for their oppression?
No.
Who's at fault for our oppression?
No, I'm not. What?
Who is at fault for our oppression?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the oppression that you're experiencing because
The
I'm looking
cisgender
at you right
community.
now, and you don't look oppressed.
The cisgender community is my oppressor.
Okay. Well.
So you're just denying our oppression.
You don't look oppressed.
Well, not denying it. I'm just unfamiliar.
You just did. You just denied it. Hey, if you want to ask questions, great. By all means, ask about our oppression. We're losing rights constantly. We are losing rights to gender-affirming care. We are losing rights to public spaces such as restrooms. We're losing the rights to be called our name and our pronouns in schools. We don't have housing protections. We don't have employment protections. There's a stigma around being transgender. We are harassed at extremely high rates. We face 4 times the violence of the cisgender community. You gonna tell me that we're not oppressed?
In my experience, people are very like timid or like standoffish when it comes to transgender people because they're worried that they're going to offend them.
And that's why they're assaulting trans people?
No, I'm saying they're trying to be respectful but they don't know like how like what you identify as, or if you're going to get offended, or if we're going to get in trouble.
Daniel, I'm sorry. I don't know why this is your response to what Adora just said. Adora just said.
You see, let's have a whole slew of issues that I could go through one by one. Sports is a good one. I mean,
they're 4 times more likely to experience violence, right?
Okay.
So, how is that?
Where does that come from? Because where does that information coming from?
So, if we show you evidence of that, then you're going to agree.
Yes.
Okay, Adora. Do you want me to look it up? Adora, are you there?
Yeah, what was that?
She's asking for the evidence that y'all experienced 4 times the amount of violence.
Let me see if I can bring that up real quick.
Yes,
Danielle,
appreciate that.
While Adora, wait 1 second. While Adora is looking for this source, I do want to still push back on fake science. Do you think Yale School of Medicine is doing fake science?
Possibly, yeah.
You mean they do? Why do you believe the Yale School of Medicine is doing fake science? Why do you believe that?
Because universities are not the same as they were, when did I graduate? 2010? They're not the same anymore. I feel like it's all related to, the political, things that are going on, and also universities, they just want your money. I've been there, I've done that.
Danielle, where can I find real science? If I can't find it at the Yale School of Medicine, where can I find real science?
Well, just because someone attends Yale School of Medicine does not mean they're doing real science.
No, I'm not saying that.
I have
So
the data.
what we do as scientists is when we get information from somebody else, we go and we find supporting documents, like published, peer-reviewed documents and experiments, factual information that has been proven, looked over by the committee of science or whatever, and approved as something that you can now publish into a magazine as fact, as at
Okay,
least
I
close to
have
fact.
that right here stating, talking about the fact that trans people face 4 times the violence of cisgender people. It is per the 2017 and 2018 National Crime Victimization Survey, and the key findings are that transgender people 16 plus are victimized over 4 times more than cisgender people.
How, what victim? How,
Sure.
like, can you give me an
Yeah.
example of being,
Sure.
is calling you a man, making you a victim?
You asked, I'm going to answer. Give me a second. Okay. So this includes violent victimization, including rape, including SA, including aggravated or simple assault.
So that's the only, so there's a, okay, well,
What do you mean only?
Wait, what?
That's the only, like, that's not enough for you?
No, that is enough for me. That's
Okay.
terrible, and I'm
Fantastic.
really sorry to hear that. And Adora, I hope you carry protection with you wherever you go, so that you are not a victim of any of those crimes.
Oh, yeah.
However,
it's just,
life. How do you know Adora's life that she hasn't experienced any of these things? You don't know that.
I don't know that. I didn't say I knew that. I just said I hope that she doesn't ever in the future, and that she has a way to protect herself if this does happen. If she really does feel that she is at risk, or going out in the world, then sure.
I have data showing that trans people are at risk. Thank you so much for the festival blame. I do want to be clear, though, that it is majority Black transgender women that are in danger.
Interesting. Okay. That is interesting. Okay, well, thank you for that information. So now I know that. But I don't know why we started talking about that. But anyways,
you were saying
Adora, I
that
just want to let you know, being
oppressed.
someone who's a little,
You don't look oppressed. That's why we started.
Yeah, and also, I'm sorry. When I say the Yale School of Medicine, like, this is a peer-reviewed study. The Women's Health Research at Yale came up with this consensus. So it's not one person that went to Yale and said that sex and gender are different. It is the entire it's the entire committee. It's the entire
right, we've accepted that, I think, as a culture at this point. I mean, that's not something that needs to be, I mean, y'all say that you got, Adora, I watch you a lot because I really like you, and I like the information that I get from you, and I think you're fun, and I have nothing against, I wouldn't have any problem with, my family being around transgender people or anything. My only problem really would be, I homeschool my kids for this exact reason, and the sports, like, interfering with sports, Olympic medals being given to men in women's sports, like, I think that's a line that should be drawn.
Yeah, like, Danielle.
Man.
You're the biased one, Danielle. You're the one doing fake science because
no, I mean, I could, but am I allowed to have my opinion or not?
Danielle, you're gonna have to, because people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to Yale, right? Like, people are paying for this education. So if they're doing fake science over there, you really need to report that.
Okay.
Like,
so do you know how science works?
You're saying that this is fake science.
No, I didn't never use those words. You're again,
so it's
like,
real
you have
science.
Everybody else here put words into my mouth. I didn't say fake science. I never said that.
Okay, so
I never said
the
fake
Yale
science.
School of Medicine is real science.
What?
The Yale
not
School of
always.
Medicine is
Just
real
because someone goes to a school doesn't mean they're doing quote unquote real science.
No, I'm not saying they're
this is how science works, okay? So you have an observation, right? You make a hypothesis. Your hypothesis is biased. because that is what you want to happen. That's what you see. That's your interpretation. You are guessing on your hypothesis. That is biased right there, first of all. So, science is always biased, and science is not always real, and it's not always factual.
Okay, Danielle,
because
hang on.
So do you think... Go ahead.
What are you saying is specifically is biased here?
Say that, I think I was trying to think of a good example. You want to experiment with the 5-second rule, okay? So the 5 second, you drop something and you still eat it because 5 seconds haven't passed.
Okay, I'm not looking for examples of how sometimes science might be biased. I'm looking for a specific sample related to the conversation at hand about a study or something that we have provided you that has been biased or inaccurate.
I don't. Danielle, but I can guarantee you that there are out there. Like
guarantee based.
You're right now slandering the Yale School of Medicine. You're literally saying that they're practicing fake biased science, and that's what they're doing in there. You need to have some proof, because you're saying this in front of 2,000 people. What if somebody's trying to go to Yale? You need to.
I would encourage them not to.
That Yale is like Yale is fake
you
science.
Would encourage them not to, just based on what, Danielle?
Based on the fact that an education at a college does not, it's just not valuable anymore, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Danielle, hey, hang on, guys. I don't want us all talking over each other. Interrupting, I totally get it, but I just don't want us all talking at once. I want some kind of evidence that shows that Yale is not credible. You're making a wild claim. I need you to back that claim or back off.
I'm not saying that it for sure 100% is all fake science. I'm saying that the way that the scientific method works is that you see something from your eyes, not anybody else's, and you think, okay, well, the 5-second rule isn't true. So then you do an experiment basically to prove that the 5-second rule isn't true, right? So you want your evidence to go along with your hypothesis and your observations, right? That's how science works.
Okay.
And then someone comes in differently and says, I see this differently.
This is why we have peer review, because human beings can let bias accidentally seep into something they're trying to do, even when they're trying to not be biased. I'm biased in favor of the transgender community, 100%. But I try to rely on peer-reviewed evidence.
Right.
That's what I look for. So, sure, someone who does a study might accidentally let some bias seep in, which is why we have peer review.
Right. Yeah, but they still can't address the bias, because if you're peer review, all peer review does is they look at
Danielle, I need you to provide your source then.
And were they accurate?
Whatever point you're trying to discredit, provide me with your source for why it's not credible.
I just have the experience of it. I mean, I don't know why we're arguing this.
Personal experience is the most biased thing.
What?
Yeah, and you're saying some things are true and some things aren't true coming from Yale. I think you're doing that based off of your bias, because you don't want to believe that trans people are valid, and the Yale School of Medicine says that they are, and you're mad about that. And so you're saying they're a fake school. It's literally
I'm not saying they're a fake school.
You're saying they're doing fake science. That's what you said.
Every school does fake science. Every
school
university
does real science. Then
what is fake science? What is fake science?
Fake science. What is real science? Where can I find real science?
Real science is when you do the scientific method. Okay, within that, there are biases.
Danielle, how are you?
That's just
okay. I need to show proof that Yale School of Medicine, particularly the women's health research at Yale, is not using the scientific method. You need to prove that.
I'm not going to tell you guys where I got my degree from. I live in the state of Virginia, so that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you where I got my degree
So that degree is more valid than a degree at Yale, because you practice real science there.
I'm not saying that. No, there's fake science that came out.
So, what would you say is a credible source?
Okay. If you want me to get into like what I did there and how I experienced the bias, we can do that. But I don't really feel like doing that right now.
Danielle, I just want to know what a credible source is to you.
I told you.
What was it? I didn't hear the answer.
I guess I told you. I mean, the scientific method and peer review journals are the best we can get.
But that seems to be what you're arguing against.
That's what the Yale School.
No, she's saying I said it was fake science.
Danielle, I don't. Danielle, I genuinely do not care if you said it's fake science or not. I don't. I want to know. So you say that. Hang on, Danielle. You say that the scientific method and peer review and all this is the way to go. I agree, 100%. I think that the scientific method is what we should be following. Yeah. But that's what we follow. That's how we get to this right here. That's how we get to men can get pregnant because of the scientific method, because of observation, because of peer review.
Yes. And then somebody comes in and has a different bias, and then they do the different science, and then eventually people come to an agreement. Usually.
The agreements.
Yes.
Mel, you got a violation.
Who?
Mel got a violation. Yeah. At least it was kind enough to give a warning.
Right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't have said anything about real or not real. I don't know why we're
really quick
on
before I
this
go,
topic.
this is what I wanted to say. That's what you came in and you said that this country is being ruined by fake or by not real science or something like that.
By lies.
No.
By
I said that
lies.
there's lies being told to children in schools. There's lies being told. I mean, if
Bye,
you.
Mel. Thank you. You're welcome back on your backup.
Do you think the National Institute of Health is biased?
No, I already did that. Sorry. I'm sorry. What was your question?
The National Institute of Health. Do you think they're biased?
I don't think the NIH in itself is biased.
Okay, great.
But maybe the scientists that work there might be.
What? What place is not biased?
Okay, hold on.
Okay, guys,
I just say the last thing I wanted to say to Adora, and then I'll just get off here because I have things to do. But I gave you like a million roses, so I wanted to get on here and just say that the whole time that you guys were having these debates, I was just saying like, men can get pregnant because they were a woman. That's why they.
You are wrong again.
But
how can we prove anything?
Men can get pregnant because they were a female in the past. Okay. So, but I don't agree that a man.
You got more stuff to do, so go on and do it.
Yeah, like how we're gonna prove anything to her or so any sources if she's saying everything is just fake science? I don't know how we're gonna do that.
Right, that makes it easier to cherry pick what you believe and what you don't. Like that's literally using bias. Like what?
And if like the trans community must be a very powerful group if they believe that y'all are indoctrinating like the National Institute of Health, Yale, Harvard. Like what? How much power and influence do they believe trans people have? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, I do have therapy today, so I'm probably going to go for one more good conversation. I will end by 12:50 at the absolute latest, probably earlier. What Jay is saying in chat, if you want to support transgender people, if you want to support gender affirming care of all types, and you have a little bit of money that you can reasonably spare, please consider texting transjoy, one word, to 44321. That is that is Point of Pride. They are a fantastic charity. They're the one that I donate to weekly. So if you got a little bit of extra money to spare, please consider texting transjoy to 44321. Gonna bring up the next guest right now. If you are a veteran of my live, please write please write transjoy in chat.
Sometimes your stupid are good.
Hello.
Hello, Poppy. How you doing?
Hi, good, thank you. How are you all?
Okay. I am doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 26.
26. Fantastic. Can men get pregnant?
So yes, I believe men can get pregnant. My question, I'm hoping to get cleared up. Sorry, every time I come live, I lose the ability to speak, so sorry if I step over in my words. But yes, I do believe men can get pregnant in obviously trans context, but I think we've all said before, at least I've heard a lot on live, about men belong in men's spaces and women belong in women's spaces. And I suppose men getting pregnant, their sort of specialist care would need to be on what would be called like maternity wards. I don't know if it would not be able to be called maternity wards anymore. But they need to be obviously in specifically female spaces to maybe give birth safely. And that's obviously then intruding on women that may not feel comfortable with that. And so I didn't know whether going forward for trans men to give birth, whether that would need to be something like a men's ward for labour.
There's not enough trans men getting pregnant for an entire ward for that.
That's what I was thinking, that wouldn't happen. So does that mean that to not be kind of harming trans men giving birth and making sure that they can give birth safely, that they would then need to go into women's spaces and then make the women feel uncomfortable?
I mean, a pregnancy ward isn't inherently a women's space. It's typically women in there, but it's not inherently a women's space.
So yeah, certainly with giving birth, obviously family members, men, male doctors, male staff are allowed in. But then there are wards that specifically say women, there's a complication with birth or something, and they go on to women's ward.
Where would you have a transgender man give birth?
That's the thing. That's I guess what my question is, because I think they would give birth on a like ward where you give birth, because I think that men and women have access to that. But
because that's where all the proper healthcare is for people giving birth.
Exactly. But I think if say there was a complication and they needed to stay overnight,
then they would stay overnight.
Yeah, but would they?
Poppy, do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so when you're in labor, like, are you worried about all the people around you who could possibly be there, or are you just like focusing on giving birth?
I personally wouldn't be, but I think that there would be women that say if they were a victim of assault or something like that, that were maybe triggered by a presence of a man in a vulnerable position. I think once they've given birth,
isn't that a them problem then if they're triggered by that?
She can request to move rooms.
Yeah. So I think there are, I don't know how they do it in America, but in the UK, I assume you probably have a similar situation, but they have like wards where all the women share the same ward, so they get put in, like rooms aren't necessarily available. Sorry, rooms aren't necessarily available for women to go into. Sometimes they're shared wards where like everyone will be in there together.
Are all the nurses and doctors also women?
No. So there will be male doctors and nurses, but I think there's a bit more like safeguarding done with those. They're sort of trained.
Safeguarding? Wait, if the person would be uncomfortable with a trans person in there, wouldn't they be also uncomfortable with the doctor?
Additionally, people in positions of power are frequently the most likely to be the ones who are harming people in such a way.
Right, and if you are a woman who is like in labor and you don't want like a man doctor, you can request that. You can't request to like remove the people around you because they're also giving birth.
So that's what I was going to say actually, is that I think that if someone was, say, a victim of assault or something and they didn't want male doctors to be dealing with their healthcare, I think they are actually, like you said, able to do that. They're allowed to request that male doctors don't do it. But say, like, again, in these wards, they're quite small. I mean, again, I don't know what it's like in the US, but in the UK, the wards are quite small. Your beds are pretty much next to each other. And say that there was, like, a trans man next to a trans woman. I mean, how would that woman deal with that situation if they didn't want to be, say, transphobic or be making that... Yeah.
Then that's their problem. Like, they are transphobic, whether they want to be transphobic or not. If they have a problem with a man giving birth to them, then they're transphobic, and that's a them problem. That is not the problem of the transgender man.
And is this a hypothetical, or is this happening on average? That people are having a problem with this.
This is just very much hypothetical, based off of like men. It's obviously the question says can men get pregnant, which I say yes. But then it's kind of, what do we do with that if this becomes more, say, common, or this becomes more of like a common thing in society where men are giving birth? I think, Adora, you mentioned earlier that there may be more men likely to give birth or something. There's maybe science that's kind of promoting that. I'm not sure what you...
Trans women may be able to give birth.
Oh, right, okay, sorry, I got
Trans
that
women are not men, so...
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got that wrong. But no, I think that if trans men are more likely to arrive in female spaces, then I think that I think I go back to the men belong in men's spaces, women belong in women's spaces, and whether.
So what do we do? Exclude trans men from getting pregnant because they?
I think, because I know that Mel, you say quite a lot when it says those things like, isn't that a them problem? So would you not say for like a trans man that's a them problem?
That's a them problem. Where are they supposed to give birth?
Yeah, that's where I was wondering whether we would then start pushing for on men's wards or in the men's.
Okay, again, there's not enough trans men giving birth for it to be an entire ward. So where should trans men give birth?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that's. I just think that it should maybe be a separate ward. Like, I don't think that men should.
Why do you have a problem with a man who is female, who is giving birth in the same area as you? Why do you have a problem with that?
I wouldn't personally have a problem with it. I'm just saying that if there's women, say, that would have a problem with it, if they would.
Transphobic women need to deal with their transphobia, period.
Right, like Poppy, like I don't understand like what you're saying when it comes to this, because Mel is saying that it's your problem because you're just uncomfortable. That's something that you have to address. Like, there's a lot of points in society, things that I don't like, that makes me uncomfortable, but I move on with my life because I don't control the world. The world's not all about me. That's ridiculous to put onto a patient that needs help because they're in labor and saying, oh, like, people are uncomfortable, you need to move, you need to go here, we need to hide you. Like, that's inappropriate. That is trying to control the world around you, and you're affecting others. You need to address that with yourself. That is a different thing.
I was really meaning in the response, not with, say, if someone was just sort of like, anti-trans men giving birth or something, that's terrible, and I think that isn't something that should be supported. What I meant mostly is, say that there's a woman that's experienced trauma in her life, say she's been like SA'd or something traumatic's happened to her, and so staying on a ward with a man would be obviously quite traumatic. And I think that I don't think that it's any less her problem than it would be like the trans man's problem.
No, there's a huge difference here. One is a person being uncomfortable despite not being in any danger at all. The other is a person who needs medical attention now. Yeah. And you're trying to cater to the person who's a little bit uncomfortable and ignore the person who needs help now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
This is making me genuinely angry.
Like, you're not hearing yourself. One is definitely is more of a need than the other. The other is a want. This is a need. You need medical attention when you're giving birth.
Yes, yeah. I'm sorry if that's making you angry, or I'm not meaning to. I think I'm coming from a point of curiosity rather than like personal opinion on whether.
That would be fine if we hadn't already gone over all the points and you weren't still fighting.
I'm not fighting.
You're pushing at this point. You are pushing for transgender men to be excluded from hospitals.
No, I think that at the moment there isn't access for transgender men to not give birth on those wards, and so of course they would be giving birth on those wards. What I was saying is maybe there's a way to make sure that women that say, experience trauma or would rather, men be in men's spaces, women be in women's spaces, maybe there's a compromise there where maybe there can be access.
What is so wild to me is that this is usually what people push for, right? They want same-sex people in the same place. And in this scenario, this man has the same sex as these women giving birth, and you still don't want them there. So it just has to do with transphobia, period, not about your sex or your gender. You just don't want trans men there.
Yeah, like, Poppy, I'm trying to have you empathize, but imagine you're in this scenario. Imagine you're like need to give birth, right? and you're in extreme pain, and then they're like, actually, people are really uncomfortable with you. We gotta move you.
So
How
no,
would you feel
I just-
about that?
So I'm not saying that trans men shouldn't be having access to that healthcare. That's not what I'm saying. I think I'm being misunderstood in the fact that I don't personally believe that, say, a trans man was to go into hospital and is giving birth, that they shouldn't be on that ward. What I'm saying is that maybe...
You're fighting for the people who do believe that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
Not your personal opinion. You are fighting for those people. You were trying to find a solution for transphobic pregnant women.
Right.
Because they're uncomfortable.
Will you allow them into that ward? Yes or no? It's that simple.
Yeah,
Would you allow them in there?
Yes, I personally
Lydia.
would. I just think that there's maybe people that, I mean, I suppose I get the concept of because they feel uncomfortable and there's like an emergency care needed, that's different. I think I understand that. And so that's something that I didn't really consider before, that, you know, obviously there's this emergency situation. I think any case emergency comes first beyond anything else, because everyone's, you know, health and life needs to be more important than someone's, say, like personal feelings. So that I totally understand. But I think we've had discussions before, and maybe that's why I'm getting confused when we talk about the bathroom argument. I think the general thing is that men belong in men's spaces, women belong in women's spaces, and so that, you know, a trans woman should be able to go into a women's bathroom because they're a woman, and vice versa. And so I suppose I was kind of overlapping my opinion with that being, okay, so if there's like a women's space in a hospital, does that mean that that isn't relevant if there's like a trans man? And I suppose I'm less thinking about this emergency like birth situation. I think I was more considering it as like a female and a male space, which maybe is wrong. You know, maybe that's...
Like, as a society, we need to stop thinking of it as a woman's space, right? This person just needs medical care because they're giving birth. Regardless of their gender identity, they're giving birth.
So would you say that instead we should view, say, like, because I suppose I've just had it hardwired, and I think we all have, like, with society at the minute, that I suppose birth is like a female thing, and women go into these women's spaces, and maybe that's what, maybe it's like we need to not view that as a woman's space.
Birth is a female thing. Birth is a female thing, but men can also be female.
Right. So should we not be recognised? So just to update like my education here, should we not be viewing like, say, what is naturally like a women's ward and men's ward? Like, I think both there's men's wards and women's wards in hospital. Again, don't know what's like in the US, but in the UK we have women's ward and men's ward. Should we, in the context of like giving birth, not have a women's ward and a men's ward? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I was saying. Should we have a kind of a birth men's ward and a birth women's ward, but we shouldn't...
Wait, can I just have a question, Poppy. Do you think that people should be allowed to bring their spouses while they give birth?
Yeah, so that's...
Good question.
I think that's what I said earlier. I think that was brought up where I mentioned that obviously men can be in the space during giving birth. So when you get taken to a room and you're giving birth, and you can have like your partner or a family member there with you, whilst you give birth, that's obviously in a private room. What I was saying is in the context of, say, they need extra care, or they need to stay for a couple of nights, and they get put onto a ward. Do they all get put onto that ward together, or do they have like a set, or do the trans man get taken to a men's ward that would normally be done in a hospital, but then they may not be as safe because they don't have the maternal care? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I was saying. Not like the actual giving birth part, the like if they had to stay over for a couple of nights or a week or something, if that makes sense.
Their husband can't stay with them to help them?
So when you are moved to a different ward, so we have gendered wards, and say you need to stay for a week, say there's a complication with birth or something, you stay on a ward, and then there's visiting hours, but overnight and during quieter periods of time when there's not staff, and at night there's no men allowed on that ward, or guests or visitors, whatever.
Oh, so the United States is very different.
I do want to hear what Kari has to say.
Right. My husband stayed with me the entire time.
Oh, okay.
So I just recently had a heart attack, and I was put in a recovery ward. Now, granted, this is not the same thing as pregnancy, but in the recovery ward, because I had that my medical records showed that I'm transgender, not only, and I can pull up the background that shows on the board, Kari, she, they, for my pronouns, but I was also in a women's room. So I was at the recovery ward in a women's room, and just to let you know, a little extra side note, this was a Christian faith-based recovery facility. Was funded by churches and stuff. So I was put in the women's ward section. Just to let you know.
Okay.
Just so I'm clear, I just got here, I apologize. Is the argument that we need separate spaces for women pregnant or birthing women in the hospital?
And
Specifically for trans men, she wants trans men to have their own ward.
Why?
So I just want to make it clear that I don't personally, I wanted to just basically come and update my education on what I should probably put a key bit of context in the UK. There's basically being movements made that trans people should be banned on different wards. So say you're a trans woman, you wouldn't be able to go onto a female ward or woman's ward. So that's what's happening in the UK at the minute, which I think is terrible. But I'm just saying that I guess I should have probably put that in there before, that basically it's how can we open that back up as an option. So right now in the UK it wouldn't be an option for say a trans man to go and give birth in a women's ward. It would be not allowed, they would have to be put. So I was saying that do we think that maybe we should open kind of specific birth related or kind of I don't know how to describe it.
Just think it's doing too much. Just let people give birth. I don't know why we're separating people for that.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting actually to hear this, even when Kari spoke about her hospital stay, because I have given birth twice. I've been to labor and delivery multiple times just for emergency type things or whatever. And labor and delivery is just labor and delivery. At the hospital I went to, there was not a woman's ward or a man's ward. You just
that
go
might be
into labor
different
and
then, I guess in the UK we have a maternity ward, it's called, and it's it's basically a women's ward. It's kind of you go on and it's if you need to stay say overnight, you get put on a ward of women, so it's a big room with loads of beds and women are all
see, I've never stayed in a place I always had a private room by myself. So my husband could stay. It's not a thing. So maybe stop separating people in the hospital. I don't know. I think that's
I guess I don't have the power to do that, but I suppose it's more just I was here to kind of be educator or update my education, because obviously it's very easy to kind of be see the media and see the news and see everything that's being passed as far as banning trans people and this, that, and the other. I think it's terrible, and I'm really sorry, Adora, if I triggered you at all. I'm not here at all I don't personally
I just want to be clear that I'm totally okay with people coming up here with an opinion that I don't necessarily agree with and just having a conversation about it. What bothered me is that when we explained why it was a problem, you continued to push.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it came across as me pushing, because I personally wouldn't have any problem with it, and I personally don't agree with it. I suppose I left out the context there of that it's very different in the UK, and so I was more saying, what can we do in the UK? Should we push for there to be a separate ward for trans?
Yeah, definitely not.
But you think maybe push for there not to be a ban on trans men in the kind of what we call...
Yes, exactly. They should have access to the same facilities as everyone else giving birth.
They should just have a labor and delivery area. It doesn't matter who is in labor and having a delivery.
Would it be better maybe to have a ward, again, I don't want to trigger anyone by saying this, but if we had a ward for say women that were a victim of sexual assault and would maybe have a problem with having men the nurses or staff or a trans man or whatever, should we instead have spaces for them to go to?
Pretty sure we already do that for I don't know, I don't know how common that is, but if you tell your doctor that you want a woman doctor or a woman nurse, they do that for you already.
You can already do that, but again, there are going to be women there who are going to have men with them. So you're not going to be able to keep women completely away from men.
Yeah. Go for it, Kari.
Question: is the wards that you're thinking of where? I mean, okay, are they private rooms? Or are they shared rooms with other people?
They're shared rooms, so it's like one big room with beds, basically. Like, you know, they'd have like rows of beds next to each other.
Okay.
So private rooms are where you maybe go to give birth. So they're like a birthing suite.
So, when a person is in one of these rooms, transgender people typically, now I did say the word typically, will present feminine. Okay, I mean will present masculine. In this case, because we're talking trans men. So, is the issue then because of them presenting as a man, as male? Is that the issue, or is it because when we're talking about a transgender man who is pregnant, giving birth, they would be in the ward. So, what exactly is the issue where you're coming from with the problem? Because typically, to the best of my knowledge, a transgender woman has not yet given birth. Now, that could be changed now because they're working on uterus transplants and there's attempts at it, but this is not something that's being commonly done at this time. So, are you talking about a hypothetical future?
So I'm more referring to, I think it's just been present in my head because at the moment we have a Prime Minister in the UK that's making big moves to kind of remove trans rights, which is really terrible. And it's more about educating myself on how that can be improved to make sure that trans people have access to the right healthcare. And I think there's obviously, they've banned trans men from being in women's wards, but I think I can only assume that's because people would be like uncomfortable with, say, I think you asked whether it's like a visual presenting man being in the ward. And so that's why the women would be then uncomfortable. I don't believe in that personally. I think that's why the law's being passed, and they're doing it all through like schools. Like, I don't know why our Prime Minister is really passionate about it, but they're trying to remove the right basically for trans kids to be educated in school. Like, it's really terrible. And I suppose I was coming to the point of, is it safe for trans men to give birth? And the answer at the moment is I'm worried that it's not.
It's just not safe to be trans, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah.
So, guys, I do have to end here. I have to wind down a little bit before my therapy session, which is coming up in just a few minutes. So I'm going to end this conversation now. Thank you for coming up, Poppy.
Okay. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
All right. Hello, Lydia. Hello. Kari's gone.
Hi.
Bye, Michaela. Hello. How's it going?
I just wish people would just, I feel like now they're just obsessively segregating everything just to be transphobic, and it's so awful. Like, there's just no reason why we need to separate that. They're just
Agreed. 100%. All right, guys, so I'm going to do my little outro. If you're new to my channel, if this is your first time watching me, say hi in chat real quick. I am Adora. I'm a post-op transgender woman. I advocate for trans rights. If that's something that you're interested in, please consider giving me a follow. On Thursday, the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to try out LGBTQIA speed dating. If it goes well, we're going to continue to do it. If it doesn't go well, then it'll have been a fun little experiment that we tried. If you're interested in that, register for it on my page. What else was I going to say? If you missed part of this live and you want to rewatch this live or anything like that, you can head on over to my Patreon. I do post most of these lives about a week later, typically, to my Patreon. It's Adorable Rainbow Fist on Patreon, or you can check out the link tree in my bio. $5 a month. You can watch all of my debates, the Q&As, and the talent shows, and the Trans Joy is posted there for free. Do I have anything else I want to say? Everyone follow Mel. This is Mel's backup.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Yeah, I'll go live if you want to come.
Are you going to go live? All right, so we're going to do a delayed Mel raid then.
I'll switch back to my main. Go live on there.
Okay, in like 60 seconds, everyone head on over to Mel's and put Mel raid in chat, Ants in chat. Bye, Lydia.
Yeah, if you need something to do, you can come hang out.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Bye, everyone.